watching ESPN College Football, presented by Edward Jones, as we welcome you to Raleigh, North Carolina, where the Wolfpack of NC State play host today to the Dukes of James Madison. Here from Carter-Finley Stadium, welcome everyone to College Football 2018. Mike Corey alongside former Buffalo Bills and UMass running back Rudy and Goya. Great to be with you again, my friend.
How excited are we to get this college football season kicked off?
It's going to be outstanding. And we have one of the best quarterbacks in the nation here on display today for NC State in Carter-Finley.
Yeah, threw for over 3,500 yards last year. Only 2 FBS quarterbacks threw for more. You know, he's 6'4". He's got a long, strong arm. He's athletic. He can stretch the field. He checks all the boxes. That's why our topic Shay has him rated as the #1 quarterback entering next year's NFL draft.
Coaches today, Dave Dorn for NC State, Mike Houston for James Madison. A lot of fans look and say, hey, why are you playing this team? Why are you playing these guys?
Yeah, I mean, we asked Dave Dorn. He said, about 4 or 5 years ago when we did the schedule, JMU wasn't as tough as they are now. I mean, believe me, folks, JMU plays like an FBS team, not an FCS team. It's a team you don't want to tangle with, especially in week 1. They're 28-2 in the past 2 seasons. They won the Division National Championship in 2016 and then made it back again last year in 2017. Just an unbelievable group of talent at JMU. And Mike Houston, what can you say for his coaching job? Fell a little short last year against North Dakota State. Lost some players from this year's team, but it's next man up mentality. They will step up today, and believe me, they're coming in here to Raleigh not just to play with an ACC team. They're here to win the game. This should be a really good one today. Looking forward to it.
That's a great point, Reedy. They're not going to be scared of anyone. This should be a phenomenal matchup here today. We'll see what happens. NC State won the toss. They have deferred, so James Madison is going to receive to start this game here today from Carter-Finley Stadium in Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, new rules this year in college football. A big one is here on the kickoff. We know if it's a touchback, the ball goes to the 25. Well, if the receiving team calls for a fair catch anywhere inside the 25 down to the 1, you automatically get the ball at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how that plays out, because I think teams that don't have dynamic return men, their coaches are going to have them do a lot of fair catching.
Kyle Bambard kicks off. Marcus Marshall muffs it inside of the 5-yard line, picks up at the 2. Now he's got no choice and has to run and is tackled down at the 8-yard line. That's where you got a fair catch that
That's
ball.
a perfect example. If he would have fair caught that out to the 25, but I think what most coaches are telling their return men, Mike, is if you can catch it going forward with a running start, take it. You know, just a little jitters there for Marshall to drop that opening kick.
All right, so the Dukes are on offense with number 6, junior quarterback Ben DiNucci, to transfer out of Pittsburgh, where he played for a few seasons. And there is a flag down on the field, back on the NC State side of the field.
Offside, kicking team. 5-yard penalty for the previous spot. Will re-kick from the 30-yard line.
That's a huge call, right? North Carolina State has him pinned down. Boy, now you got to re-kick it from 5 yards deeper. That covering team has to get back out there. Huge break for JMU early on.
And we just caught that. It was like a yard off the sideline, right in front of the NC State sideline. The official threw the flag down, so that is really good for James Madison. A huge break instead of at the 8-yard line. We'll see what happens here on the re-kick.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the headline judge right there that's looking down that line. Had a North Carolina State player offside, so he just takes the flag out and drops it. That's why you didn't see it. Good look at it. Cover man closest to the kicker looked like his body was clearly across the 35. It's a good call by the officials.
I mean, that's always been the rule, and it's kind of one of those things like in basketball, like a lane violation.
Yeah.
You never call it. They were cracking down on it.
Well, now we get to see what this penalty does. Now it's a 5-yarder, but we know they had him stopped at about the 3, right, or down in there. So let's see the difference in field position here.
So Bambard will do it again, and still Marcus Marshall back to return for James Madison. And he wants to run it out here from the 6-yard line. So no fair catch signal again. Marshall bumps off a tackler and just gets across the 25-yard line. So gets about an extra yard there. Had he called for the fair catch, ball's at the 26.
Yeah, I mean, but it's pretty much like a 20-yard penalty, right?
Exactly right. Ben DiNucci, the transfer from Pitt, started 6 games last year for them, threw for over 1,000 yards and 5 touchdowns. What do you like about him?
I mean, he's a good athlete. He can run a little better, and I think it was a tough quarterback battle in camp between he and Cole Johnson. He gives JMU a better chance to win this game. A little more athletic.
And for Ben DiNucci, he played against NC State last year at Pitt and had a really good game in that contest. He's going to pull it down and keep it on first down and gets across the 30 for a 5-yard gain.
That's what I was going to say. You know, these teams have never faced each other, but this Wolfpack defense faced DiNucci last year. DiNucci had 170 yards and a touchdown against him when he was a quarterback at Pitt.
Yeah, season best 19 completions in that ball game. 2nd down and 5 now for the Dukes opening series today. Carter-Johnson is the back, and he gets swarmed under by James Smith-Williams for a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, and I was really impressed with James Smith-Williams. We spoke to him yesterday. Folks, he's playing the position that Bradley Chubb played last year. He's stepping up. You know, there's been a lot of talk in Raleigh. Hey, this defensive line isn't going to be as good as last year's because they lost 4 guys in the NFL. James Smith-Williams wants to make a statement.
Big early 3rd down now for James Madison. DiNucci steps up and gets away from pressure, and he's going to have the first down. Sideline with some daylight and into NC State territory. A crucial 3rd down pickup.
And that's just what we talked about. You have to keep contained against a quarterback that's mobile, and Ben DiNucci can do that. This was a broken play. This was all on Ben DiNucci. He steps up, the pocket collapses. He's going to step up. He sees the green grass. He's that athletic to get it outside for a big pickup, and JMU's ready to go again with a quick snap.
Man in motion, DiNucci hands it off. And they're down close to the 41-yard line. Carter-Johnson on the run is going to pick up 4 yards. How about DiNucci staring down the players for NC State?
Well, there's a little trash talking going on, and again, Ben DiNucci faced this Wolfpack team last year. He's not afraid. I told you, JMU, throw it out that they're an FCS program. They're here to win this game today.
Marcus Marshall in the backfield now on a 2nd down play. DiNucci nowhere to go, throws it away.
I think we're going to see a flag here, Mike, because DiNucci, I don't believe, left the tackle box. There was not a receiver in the area, and the ball didn't. Yeah, so it doesn't matter if the ball made it back to the line of scrimmage.
Offense, number 6, inside the tackle box and no receiver in the area. Lost it down at the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
Perfectly called. Now, if he was outside of the pocket, he would have just had to get the ball back
which
to the
he would have been fine. So he got trapped in the pocket. He threw it away, but he did not have a receiver in the area. So if you're in the pocket between the tackle boxes, you need to have a receiver. Clearly, no receiver. Great officiating by this ACC crew. Come in, communicate it to the white hat, the referee. Flag gets dropped, proper call.
Now much different and more difficult 3rd down here and 13 for the Dukes. DiNucci again scrambling is not going to have it. Only a 4-yard pickup, 4th down and 9, and the punt team will come on for James Madison.
And the one thing you'll see early on, Mike, first game of the year, we're going to have some jitters on both sides, right? Offense, defense. Guys are a little bit too hyped. They might miss an assignment because they're too excited. So it's going to take about half a quarter for both these teams to ease themselves into this game.
It's going to be Harry O'Kelly, the Australian punter who was 3 for 3 on fakes last year. Thayer Thomas awaits the kick. Obviously no fake here in the first kick of the game for them, and Thomas with a fair catch inside the 10-yard line, and that's where the Wolfpack will take over and be on offense for the first time this season. And we'll get to see Ryan Finley here today when we come back. No score, Dukes and the Wolfpack from Raleigh. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Raleigh, North Carolina today, Carter-Finley Stadium. Awesome atmosphere, beautiful day here. Mike Corey, Rainey and Golia. No score. The Dukes and the Wolfpack. NC State now on offense for the first time today.
Yeah, this is the way to start a season right here. Going to have a sellout crowd here and a good ball game to open it up.
Ryan Finley, the quarterback. Reggie Gillespie is the tailback. He gets the call on first down. Gillespie, first and more across the 20-yard line. Now, how about Ryan Finley? Here's what our Todd McShay had to say about him.
The thing I like about Finley the most, he's most pro-ready. By that I mean he goes through progressions, he understands full field reads, throws with anticipation, and I've seen him play big in big moments and drive the team down the field when they've needed it. To me, Finley, right now, is the most pro-ready prospect in this class, and it won't surprise me if he's the first quarterback taken in the 2019 draft.
Right on cue there, Tom McShay. Thank you. 14-yard pass complete to Jacoby Myers. Another first down.
He checks all the boxes. 6'4", 212 pounds, strong arm and accurate arm. And he's a lot more athletic than people give him credit for. He's a 4.65 40 guy.
Finley over the top and overthrown, just barely incomplete. Looking for Kelvin Harmon, one of his top targets at wide receiver.
But that's exactly where you have to put that ball if you're Ryan Finley. High and away, where only your receiver, Kelvin Harmon, can make this catch. I mean, it's dropping it in the box there. It comes up incomplete, but that's where that ball needs to be.
Second down and 10. Gillespie again. This time, James Madison's ready for him, and they'll bring him down the backfield. Keyshawn Moore, and officially it'll be a no gain on the play. And we've always known James Madison to have some great up front players.
Yeah, 97, John Dacca got through there as well. He's playing for Darius Carter, who's out with a suspension. Darius Carter is the best defensive lineman this team has, and John Dacca stepping up. 97 forced that play to get that tackle for a loss.
Dukes are a few men down defensively today. More on that later. Third down and long, though, for NC State here. Finley. Pass is caught. It's Myers again, and he has the first down to the 47-yard line. Adam Smith makes the tackle, but the chain is going to move.
And I should have told you, watch for number 11, Jacoby Myers, because he's their third down specialist. Finley does a nice job in the pocket. Throws it a little behind Myers, but look at a nice job to react to that ball, make that catch, get past the chains for the first down.
Over 3,500 yards passing for Finley last year for NC State, closing in on 7,000 total yards in his career as another negative yardage play on first down there for NC State winning the ball.
As we looked at the Finley stats there, you saw the 65% completion ratio, which is great. But the stat I came across last year, Mike, he was 68% in completions on passes of third down over 7 yards, which is what he had there to Jacoby Myers, which is just incredible. You don't want to be in third and long, but if you are, you got a quarterback that can convert him.
Rolling out now. Second and long, pass is caught. It's a first down. It's Kelvin Harmon, and he's got it at the JMU 40-yard line.
We're going to see a little man-on-man. Kelvin Harmon comes out of the break against Jimmy Moreland. Good swim technique right there, gets the outside, and the ball's there on time. Now, we should say also James Madison is missing Rashard Robinson. They're All-American corners, so their two best defensive players are out for this game. But Jimmy Moreland's an experienced DB going up against Kelvin Harmon.
Taking a shot, Finley going for it all, and it's overthrown and incomplete. No flags are down on the play. Adam Smith was in coverage that time. The intended receiver, C.J. Riley.
And number 8, Wayne Davis, you're going to see his feet tangle up with the receiver, Riley. That is unintentional contact. You will never get a flag if your feet tangle up. That's what happened there. It's a good no call by the back judge.
So far, Finley on this drive, 3 for 5 passing for 40 yards. It's second down and 10. Gillespie breaking free and now tripped up At the 35-yard line, John Daka, who you just mentioned. It's going to be a 3rd down and manageable now here for the Wolfpack.
And we talked to Gillespie, a little banged up in the preseason, which most backs get. Great build on him. 5'11", 235 pounds, runs low to the ground. Great center of gravity. Looking to carry the ball 20, 25 times. He's that type of back, and he likes that zone read, what we just saw, where he can get a 3-way cut on the outside.
3rd down and 5 for NC State, their opening drive of the game today. Finley, over the middle, pass is caught. And on the reception, Emeka Emezi, 1st down again.
And that's what I really love about Ryan Finley. He knows Emezi can beat him with that quick slant, and he puts it on him in rhythm, in time, so the receiver doesn't break stride, catches it, and keeps going. And that's an experienced quarterback there.
17-yard pickup there, Reedy, and NC State moves quickly again out to Harmon, who makes the catch. Short gain this time. And the Dukes are on top of that.
And you saw him go pretty fast there. We talked to offensive coordinator Elijah Drinkwitz about his tempo and rhythm. He says he wants to dictate it. So sometimes they'll go quick. Sometimes they'll slow it down. There are no huddle. But what you see a lot of teams do is after they have a good positive play on 1st down, they will get to the line in a hurry and snap that next play. That's what they did right there.
Inside the red zone here, Finley. Good start for the Wolfpack. Gillespie, nice hole up the middle, but a flag is thrown, and maybe that's why, as he gets inside the 10.
Yeah, big 65, Garrett Bradbury, their center. He's really good, but he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar there with a holding.
Offense, number 65, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
And you're right about him, though, being really good. A 3-year starter, 27 straight start today. He played in 98% of the snaps last year for this team.
It's a kid that came here. He was a 250-pound tight end. Listen to me, folks. He's going to be playing on Sundays. He's that good. At that time, though, you know, sometimes you get caught up with those defenders. You got those hands up. Those shoulders get turned. You're gripping underneath. That umpire's looking right at you. Get caught with a holding call. It happens, but he is a good one. Is Garrett Bradbury.
It's a good break there for James Madison. They changed up the running back now. The true freshman, Tyler Baker-Williams, who was moved over from defense in the preseason. He's back there now with Finley, and he gets the pass. And the Dukes are all over that. He fumbles the football. And it's recovered by James Madison. Mike Green has the fumble recovery. And a huge turnover. And James Madison's got it.
And you saw the pursuit by James Madison, and it was Dimitri Holloway, Mike, number 2. He was hurt last year. He steps up. Coach Bob Trott, defensive coordinator, said we need a big game. I'm looking at head across the bow, shoulder right on the ball, knock it out for the fumble, and a huge play for the Dukes defense. 0-0. We'll be back.
ESPN College Football is presented by Edward Jones, because understanding what's important to you matters. And in part by Caramel M&Ms. We're making caramel fun.
Phillip Rivers, and inside the NC State football complex. This place has some really nice facilities here. We're inside the practice bubble yesterday, and the stadium, the crowd is out in full force today.
Pretty good one, Phillip Rivers. I saw Torrey Holt's jersey as well. Great receiver. A lot of great players have come through North Carolina State.
Well, they had an amazing class last year with 7 players drafted to the NFL.
Yeah, not bad, huh?
No.
The bad part is you got to replace them all now.
Coach Dave Dorn now in his 6th season. 9-4 last year, 6-2 in the ACC. Now after a turnover and a fumble, James Madison has the ball back as DiNucci's pass is caught just before the 40-yard line by Riley Stapleton. One of the best targets for this Dukes ball club.
Yeah, he's a big target. He's 6'5", 230 pounds, can stretch a little comeback route there, but important that you can get positive yards on 1st down. That's what JMU did right there, trying to stay ahead of those chains.
Marshall now on the carry. Marcus Marshall with his head down and has a first down to the 43-yard line. A guy that is from right here in Raleigh, North Carolina, began his career at Georgia Tech.
That's what I was going to say. Started at Georgia Tech, so you know he's a good downhill runner with the football, and that's what they try to do with Marcus Marshall. Get him going north and south in a hurry. He moves the chains there, picks up the first down.
Real drive killer for NC State, Randy. They had 12 plays in over 5 minutes, but didn't convert.
Turnovers will absolutely crush you.
DiNucci fires it out to the outside. Kendall Dean has the catch. First down and into NC State territory. Knocked down at the 44. That's a gain of 13.
Yeah, and the coaches were high on Kendall Dean. He's a redshirt freshman. He's athletic. One-on-one, top of the screen. DiNucci recognizes it, puts it on him in a hurry. And I always say, give the ball to your good skill players as quick as you can in space and let him make people miss. That's what Dean did right there.
Marshall again on the ground for 4 yards. Both quarterbacks standing tall, standing strong, and very confident in this game today.
Yeah, and you know, and what I like about both offenses thus far is they're kind of unbalanced. They're keeping them off balance, I should say, with the run and pass game, trying to dictate what they want to do to the defenses.
Now Trey Sharp is in the backfield with Marcus Marshall. And it's a fake to him, though, and DiNucci pulls it down and runs for a first, and that may draw a flag as he gets hit out of bounds by Keyshawn Miller. He picks up 7, a first down, extracurricular activity, as that could be another 15.
Defense, number 28, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Now, I will say it's hard for defenders like Keyshawn Miller to pull up. But I tell you what, when a quarterback's running out of that, that's clearly a personal foul. I mean, it's tough because you're excited the first game. You have to pull up. You cannot hit a player like that. It's an easy call for the officials. 2
very bad and potentially game-changing penalties early. Remember the holding down inside the red zone, pushed them back out, then they fumbled NC State. Now this 15-yard penalty puts the Dukes inside the red zone, and it's a run by Marshall, and he gets down to the 12-yard line. That's a 6-yard gain.
You know, it's interesting talking to offensive coordinator Donnie Kirkpatrick for JMU about this team. He really said the offensive line is his most improved unit, very deep. And you see, they're trying to establish a run game, and I think they really like having Ben DiNucci back there because he's very mobile and can make plays happen with his feet.
Fakes the handoff, pass is caught. He's got Matt Cohen who makes the catch, the tight end to the 5-yard line. It's their 3rd string tight end. He's been banged up a little bit, but makes a nice reception now and has the Dukes with a first down and goal from the 5. That's
the biggest difference with this offense. Of course, Brian Shore, their quarterback, was excellent the last couple of years. He's gone. You put DiNucci in, it gives you another dimension with his running ability.
First and goal from the 5. DiNucci to the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown. Riley Stapleton and the Dukes strike first.
We just talked about Stapleton early, that he's a big target, 6'5". Great back shoulder throw to the back of the end zone. Put it up high for your big receiver and let him go get it. Great throw, great catch. And, you know, he was going up against a true freshman like Tanner Angle that's only 5'10". So he had a 7-inch difference there. That's great play calling, great mismatch that JMU takes advantage of.
That's potentially a 14-point swing as NC State had it inside the red zone, turned it over, and James Madison capitalizes. DiNucci to Stapleton, and the Dukes lead at 7-0. College football presented by Edward Jones back here in Raleigh, 7-0. James Madison over NC State. How about that drive, Rainey, after the turnover?
Yeah, 8 plays, 68 yards. How about Ben DiNucci, Mike? 4 for 4 throwing, 30 yards and a touchdown, and 5 carries for 33 yards. And of course, they found the mismatch. 6'5" Riley Stapleton going up against a true freshman in Tanner Angle that's 5'10". I mean, that's the way to cap off that drive.
Hey, we know it's early. 3 minutes and 41 seconds to go in the first, but you and I believed it. A lot of other people did as well. This JMU team competes no matter who they're playing.
Listen, they got 5 defensive players out. Their 2 best defensive players are out of this game, but it's that next man up mentality for JMU.
Maurice Trowell on the return for NC State. Knocked down just before the 25-yard line. College football's back. We're on ABC here later today, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. How about number 6 Washington and number 9 Auburn? Can't wait to see what happens there. Then tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, Louisville and number 1 Alabama back in action. Both games also on the ESPN app. Watch it anywhere. You and I are.
Yeah.
Can't wait for it.
I mean, I'm looking for, how about Washington Auburn to kick the season off? A huge game not only for Washington, but the Pac-12, Mike. We'll see if Jake Browning and Myles Gaskin can get it going in Atlanta against Auburn.
From the 24-yard line, NC State. And a sweep to the outsides, not going to work the way they wanted it to. Jacoby Myers pushed out by Adam Smith of James Madison. Loss of 1. The Dukes are ready for it.
I mean, what pursuit from 21 Adam Smith. He took the right angle, shows his athleticism. Again, JMU, this is a team that has 9 FBS transfers. You got guys that have chips on their shoulder because maybe they weren't recruited as heavily. And they come and they're a physical bunch. And listen, they are not intimidated to play anywhere in the country.
Finley, nobody's open, and Finley's going to be taken down. Rondell Carter for James Madison. Loss of 4 on that second down play.
Yeah, and Rondell Carter is a defensive end that they're relying on. They believe he's going to have a great season. He had a really good camp. Top of your screen, he's going to go to the outside as Finley steps in. You do not stop your pursuit. You come back off inside and you get the sack.
One of those transfers talking about him from Rutgers. Played in 2015 and 16 there, and it's one of the sack masters for this JMU team. And they put NC State at a 3rd down and 14. Finley. Strong throw. Oh, what a better catch. Across the 40 and a first by Emeka Emezi. That was huge. 22 yards to keep this drive alive.
Yeah, great corner out by Emezi as he beat the zone there of JMU, and an excellent throw by Ryan Finley to let Emezi go up and make that catch. Huge conversion. We talked about Ryan Finley on 3rd down conversions. The kid's unbelievable.
He is, you're right. On 3rd down and long, too. They call him Emezi Juice. He's from Nigeria. And brings him up to the 42-yard line, and now back to the ground to Gillespie. This guy's powerful. Keeping the legs churning. I know you like that as a
and this is what I'd like to see Elijah Drinkwitz do. Got a very good offensive line led by Garrett Bradbury. Reggie Gillespie's a good, solid running back. Start imposing your will on JMU up front and get that running game going, and I think things will be good for you today.
Finley with time, and wide open up in the middle is Myers again. And he's been strong so far in this first quarter. Adam Smith again on the tackle, but not before a 23-yard gain.
Yeah, and the one luxury Finley has is he's got a good stable of wide receivers, and he does an excellent job of spreading it around. He doesn't really zone in on one guy. Scans the field, goes through his progressions. He's got that strong arm and quick release to get it to him.
Gillespie on a 1st down run for just a couple here as NC State moving the football like they did on their opening drive. The opening drive was stalled by a fumble that was recovered by the Dukes as we're under a minute to go in the first.
And that's what you have to do. You know, between the 20s is one thing when you move the ball, but once you get down here, you got to finish off drives with points, preferably touchdowns, but you can't come away scoreless.
Fake to Gillespie, pass again on a slant, and Myers again. 1st and goal now from the 10-yard line. That one nets 17 yards.
And it's so important for a quarterback. You know, it looks like a simple pass, a quick slant, but it's so important. How many quarterbacks you see throw that ball behind and the play gets broken up? Boy, I tell you, Ryan Finley always on time and rhythm on those slants.
And the Wolfpack going quickly here. Gillespie just 1 yard, and that's going to be the last play of this first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter.
So the Dukes scored first here today on a pass from DiNucci to Stapleton, but NC State looking to respond. Beautiful day in Raleigh, North Carolina. 2018 college football is back. Second quarter from Carter-Finley Stadium after this.
The college football playoff lives on ESPN.
Excited for this season here. Good to be with you on this Saturday from Raleigh, North Carolina. Mike Corey and former Buffalo Bills and UMass All-American running back Rini Ngolia as we have second down for the Wolfpack to begin the second quarter. Finley, hands off. Gillespie. Big tackle there by Keyshawn Moore and company for James Madison, a 2-yard gain. Here we go. Big third down and goal coming up.
Yeah, now you got the ball right side of the field. You got the wide side to your left. We'll see what they do here. Look for a matchup with one of their receivers. See if Ryan Finley can find it and get it to him. They're going to go 4 wides here, Mike.
Gillespie still in the backfield. Third down and goal. NC State 3 for 3 on third down in this game so far.
Dare I say, watch the slant, because they've been incredible with it.
And Myers, number 11. Let's see. He goes the other way, though. Finley does to the end zone. It is caught. Did he get a foot in? No. It was Kelvin Harmon who made an amazing catch falling back, but did not get his foot down inbounds.
Good coverage by 27. Torres Carroll there. Harmon makes the catch. He just cannot get that foot down. It's a good throw by Finley, but just better coverage by Carroll. Just can't toe tap Harmon. And they ran a slant underneath with that corner out on top. They tried to get it to Harmon. Just good defense there by JMU.
And instead, it's going to be a 25-yard field goal that goes through by Christopher Dunn, the freshman, and his first career kick at NC State. 7-3 Dukes. We'll be back. You can stream college football all season long on ESPN Plus. Start your free trial today. Price and flexibility. It's month to month. You can watch anywhere on your mobile, desktop, living room devices. Got a free or live DVR on there as well, where you can rewind, fast forward, and start games from the beginning. Only $4.99 a month for ESPN Plus. It's your free trial today.
Got to have it when you're in airports as much as we are, Mike.
Correct.
Must have.
The field goal. It'll be a touchdown for James Madison, and they had a really solid drive. They went down the field, capped by the DiNucci to Stapleton touchdown. What did you see?
That was a good mixture of plays. They passed it to their big receiver Stapleton, and they're spreading the field. Then they go wide to their younger receiver, and of course Ben DiNucci with his feet making things happen. Big penalty on North Carolina State on that drive, and then it capped off with a mismatch. Riley Stapleton against the smaller defensive back for the touchdown.
Coach Mike Houston, third season, former head coach at the Citadel. And all he's done in the previous 2 years is take James Madison to the national championship game. A win and a loss in those last 2 years. Here's DiNucci with a pass, and it's caught by Mac Cullen, the tight end. This school has been on the rise, and I go way back. You think back to 2004, they won the national championship as well. The new stadium, the additions, the fan support. Everybody just loves it there.
How about the support from the administration?
Yep.
That game day went there last year, right? They're always on the radar. It's just a great program. And listen, make no mistake about it, a lot of schools tried to take head coach Mike Houston away. They were able to re-sign him for a 10-year contract. It's going to take a real special place to pull Mike Houston away from JMU.
Marcus Marshall runs for the first down, and I agree with you. You know, coming in the way he did, and to just continue and even increase the culture at JMU Nation, as they call it, it's been spectacular.
Well, the administration was proactive last year. They knew schools were going to come after Mike Houston, and they gave him a good deal, 10-year deal. He likes JMU, and again, it'll take a special place to pull him away from here.
Flag flies.
Ball start. Offense. Number 68. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Dwayne Height is our referee today. And you talk about the administration, Jonathan Alger, president since 2012. How about Jeff Bourne, their athletic director? 19 years on the job. Just does an amazing job since 1999. Coaches love being a part of his athletic department.
And to have a winning culture, you need that support from the top down. Looks like we're going to have another false start.
Number 60, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And it's on Jahi Jackson, the left guard now. So a little bit of mistakes, jitters here, whatever you want to call it, for JMU on this drive for whatever reason. Now they're backed up to the 28. First down and 20.
Yeah, there's 10 free yards, right? You're giving that North Carolina State defense, both guards, right guard, left guard, your call was false start. So they got to bear down a little bit. Now you're behind the chains a little bit. You need a positive play here on first down.
They put Marshall in motion, and the give goes to Trey Sharp, who's a senior running back. It was actually their second leading rusher last year with almost 800 yards rushing and 4 rushing touchdowns. They have a stable of backs, and they can change them up. They got Sharp, they got Jawan Hamilton, the transfer out of UCF. We've seen him before. Carter Johnson, Marcus Marshall, and even Percy Ajay Obase, who's a sophomore back.
They're all very good. Let me tell you, there's a lot of teams around this country, even FBS programs, that would love to have the stable of running backs Mike Houston has at JMU.
Second down and 16 pass underneath, and that's going to be smelled out by NC State as Josh Sims gets only 3 yards after the catch.
It's important here for JMU. Listen, you were behind it with the 2 penalties, first and 20, trying to crawl back on it. But, you know, you don't have to try to get in here. Just don't turn the ball over. If you have to punt the thing away, not the worst thing in the world, right? Just don't want to make a bad decision here on 3rd and long if you're Ben DiNucci.
Agreed. Crowd coming alive from Carter-Finley Stadium. DiNucci avoids pressure, needs 13 yards though on the run, and that's not going to happen. He's tackled Tim Kid-Glass for NC State in space. Punt team is up.
And you know, defensive coordinator Dave Huxtable, co-defensive coordinator Ted Roof talked to this defense and said, listen, this kid's a little more mobile than we thought. Let's stay in our lanes. Let's keep him in front of us. And that's exactly what they did right there. DiNucci, you want to run? Fine. We're going to come up. We're going to attack you for a minimal gain and get the ball back for our offense. Good job by the Wolfpack defense there.
We'll see if Harry O'Kelly can pin NC State deep. Thayer Thomas on the return just across the 21-yard line. Look out. He's dangerous. Thomas, the sideline. And it was O'Kelly, the kicker, that had to knock him out. And NC State is in business. They essentially pushed him back 1 yard.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. Charbroiled sliders are back, starting at just $1.25. Go get some. And the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first and only hybrid minivan.
Must have been a phenomenal night there on draft day there for Bradley Chubb, the 5th overall pick to the Denver Broncos, the former defensive end for NC State.
Phenomenal night for your bank account, too,
yes.
Right?
And he's enjoyed it here, right? Back
he deserves it.
in Raleigh, he should. And we are going to be talking to him at halftime, so don't miss that. Our interview with Bradley Chubb coming up at the break. As we are back to action here now with NC State. So after the 42-yard kick and a 41-yard return, Wolfpack are in excellent field position, and Finley's pass is out to C.J. Riley, caught for the first down inside of the 28-yard line.
And Dave Doran, he thought they had an advantage with his receivers against the JMU defensive backs. They just don't have the depth. Of course, their best defensive back, Rashad Robinson, is out for the season. So you can see right now they're spreading the ball around with Ryan Finley.
Standing behind Finley for the first time today is Ricky Person, the true freshman running back for NC State, and Mateo Jackson was there for the Dukes to make that play.
Yeah, Person, one of their top recruits from Wake Forest, North Carolina. And they like him. And the nice thing about the true freshman, we've been talking about, new rule this year.
Right.
True freshmen can play up to 4 games if coach decides, well, I want to save that year. comes back the next year, if he wants a redshirt him, he's a redshirt freshman. So we're going to see how coaches kind of play with that. But most of the freshmen that are playing now, it's because they can help their teams win now, right away.
2nd down and 9. Finley, and that's out to Harmon, who has the catch. And it's another 1st down. Inside the red zone now. That's a gain of 10.
And the reason the official says that, again, the rule, if your helmet comes off, you got to come out of the game for a play. So this ACC crew letting you know. Player will be coming out, come back in that very next play.
Harmon was the team leader in receiving yards with over 1,000 last year. Making his presence felt here today as well. Play fake, Finley in the rollout. Going end zone, overthrows Riley. And a step there in front of Torres Carroll.
And that's really the most inaccurate pass we've seen today out of Finley. I think if he can hold that for one more beat and put it on his receiver, Riley, he's got a touchdown there.
Rainey, how about 12 of 16 passing for 136 yards?
Yeah, and of course I'm nitpicking because he's playing excellent.
Oh, so. No, absolutely. One of the 4 captains for the Wolfpack and trying to put them on top here. Catch is made out by Thayer Thomas. Breaks some tackles and is in the end zone. Touchdown, Wolfpack.
Such a well-designed play. And what made that play go, I want you to watch 86 of Mezzi, 3 Kelvin Harmon. Watch the blocking on the perimeter from the fellow wide receivers. There, Thomas can get to the outside, make that easy catch. That's just an extension of the run game. Well-executed play there by North Carolina State.
Brady, you called it. It was those 2 blocks for sure that allowed Thomas to get into the end zone. And the redshirt freshman on the catch for the score. And NC State now leads it 10-7. Second quarter from Raleigh, North Carolina today. The home team responds with great teamwork. First touchdown of the afternoon for NC State as we welcome you back to Raleigh. How about Thayer Thomas basically set up his own touchdown on a 41-yard punt return to get things started?
Yeah, starts it and then finishes it with a nice touchdown reception from Ryan Finley.
NC State had to go just 38 yards for the score. It took them 1 minute and 29 seconds. And it's now James Madison from the 5-yard line. Marshall. And gets up to the 24-yard line. We've got a special Sunday night kickoff matchup for you tomorrow on ABC. Miami and LSU, number 8 and number 25. Coverage kicks off at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Can't wait to see this quarterback matchup here with these 2.
That's the 2 things to watch. Malik Rozier from Miami, Mike, only 54% completion ratio last year, 14 interceptions, and of course, the Ohio State transfer Joe Burrow for LSU named the starting quarterback. Let's see how those quarterbacks play Sunday night.
Who do you like in that game?
I like Miami.
Okay.
I think they're under the radar in the ACC. Everyone's talking about Clemson. I like what Mark Richt's doing there.
There you go. Trey Sharp now on the carry for James Madison, and he's held up right at the line of scrimmage. Andreas Bryant will call it a 1-yard gain.
And we talked a lot earlier about JMU not being intimidating, can come in anywhere and play, which is all true. The problem with a school like JMU or an FCS school is eventually you can get worn down.
Right.
I mean, the depth, you're talking 85 scholarships for an FBS program like North Carolina State to 63 for an FCS program like JMU. You just don't have the depth that the bigger schools have, and it usually comes to fruition in games like this.
2nd down and 9 pass is caught across the 30-yard line. Just still shy of the 1st down on the catch by Riley Stapleton. And what I liked about NC State's offensive coordinator, Elijah Drinkwitz, what he told us yesterday about how many plays they wanted to run. And it wasn't just to run it for the sake of running it. It was to try to tire out the opposing team.
There's always a method to the madness for coordinators. And a big 3rd and short here for both teams.
DiNucci on the pass. David Eldridge on the catch. He's got it. 1st down, James Madison. Just enough, 3 yards.
Boy, and a nice job by Eldridge. When he caught that ball, he was right at the sticks. He knew he had to go another yard to pick it up. He fought for it, made sure a knee didn't hit the the ground. He did it. Good job by DiNucci. Put it on him quick. Now, if you're David Eldridge, you can make your life a little easier. Just make sure you're past the sticks when you make that catch. But right there, fights for it, reaches, gets the first down.
One of the transfers from Virginia went from Charlottesville over to Harrisonburg, and they're happy to have him here. DiNucci facing pressure, gets rid of it, and gets Josh Sims, who goes down the sideline and just tiptoes into NC State territory.
That's all Ben DiNucci, folks. That was going to be a bubble screen to Josh Sims.
And that was the receiver downfield. Offense, number 77, 5-yard penalty. First down.
And that's why you
That's
said
exactly why. It was going to be a bubble screen. It was supposed to be quick. The offensive linemen in their head, they have a 2 count. They're going to get downfield to block second level. Because North Carolina State defended it, it was a broken play. That lineman wandered downfield. It's not Fernando's fault there. And that's why we had an illegal player downfield.
What was the flag? What was the flag, by the way? I didn't even see the flag.
Well, I got excited about the impromptu play from DiNucci. I didn't see the flag.
Exactly. Now DiNucci guns it out again. And it's Clayton Cheatham this time on the reception for the first time today. It's a 10-yard. Now let's see here. Mark it at the 40-yard line. They're going to be faced with 5 more to go. It is a 10-yard reception.
It's good, right? You're not trying to get everything back. You get that penalty back, get it back into a manageable down and distance here, 2nd and 5.
What about 9 for 9 here for DiNucci. 60 yards passing in this game, 2nd down, and he stays perfect here on the catch, which is going to be good enough for another first, and it's Josh Sims.
We talked about DiNucci, transfer from Pitt, played his high school just outside Pittsburgh at Pine Richland, who had another really good quarterback that we saw, Phil Dracovic, who's at Notre Dame. Brian Kelly says the kid's going to play this year, so Pine Richland putting out some good quarterbacks.
We were there last year, as you said, absolutely. And DiNucci, as advertised here, can he stay perfect? Yes, he does. On plays like that, you will. And Riley Stapleton, and he gets flung out of bounds, and that's going to draw another flag. 6-yard gain, but an attack on another 15.
Nick McLeod started to pick him up, and then he stopped, but he had already started to pick him up, and it was a half slam. And once you start to pick him up, they're going to throw the flag, guys.
Personal foul. Defense, number 4, late hit out of bounds. 15-yard penalty. First down.
And McLeod knew when he started to pick him up, he said, I need to stop. But he had already started, and the referee said, nope, too late. The flag's going to come. Player safety is paramount. You'll see it here. You just got to stop. It's not much at the end, but then he started to pick. And then he said, I got to better stop. Well, the referee already reached for the flag.
Yeah, too late. DiNucci, 11 for 11 passing. Make it 12 for 12. That's only going to go for a yard, though, as Trey Sharp makes the catch.
How fast is Jermaine Pratt? One of the captains, the linebacker. That's a 240-pound man. Tracking down Trey Sharp there. You love your linebackers to be able to run like that.
Well, it's a defense at NC State that everybody just talks about. Hey, you lost your entire defensive front. 7 guys total for the team.
And they're sick of hearing it, this defensive unit, by the way. You could just tell when we talked to the kids yesterday.
DiNucci with pressure in his face, and the catch is made again. Boy, his receivers are making it look even better as Eldridge has.
But let me tell you how good of a throw that was. Ben DiNucci stays in the pocket. He knows he's going to get hit. He slings it sidearm. He takes the punch in the face. He delivers the ball, and he moves the chains. I mean, that's what you want from your quarterback.
Duke's wasting no time. Here they go. Sharp on the carry. Fighting through traffic on a first down run. And boy, you're right about DiNucci, though, being able to stand tall in the pocket, not get rattled. That says so much about his ability and where he wants to go with the football, too.
He knew Isaiah Moore, the middle linebacker, was barreling down on him. He knew he was going to get hit, but he stayed in there and delivered the ball. That's what you need to do.
Inside the red zone are the Dukes with 2nd down and 7. Rolling out. DiNucci keeps into the 10-yard line. First down, 1st and goal on the way. That's the thing. He knows if he doesn't have anybody, he can run himself.
And I love that play call. We have an injury on the field, Mike. I love the play call from Donnie Kirkpatrick. You're doing what your quarterback does, what his strengths are. You're rolling him out, and you're giving him a couple receivers, but you know he can also just tuck it and run, which is what he did right there.
He doesn't want to affect his perfect completion percentage here today. There was an injured player who said it's James Smith Williams. for NC State, and we will step aside. First and goal for the Dukes when we come back. James Smith-Williams, the defensive end, the junior, the injured player for NC State, you know, helped off the field, but is walking a little bit of good sign. He was best friends with James Madison running back Marcus Marshall. They're best friends since freshman year in high school from Millbrook High School right here in Raleigh, North Carolina. So Williams to the locker room for some attention. Marcus Marshall and his team on the field with a first and goal.
Yeah, let's hope Smith-Williams is okay. That'd be a big loss for North Carolina State.
Cardin Johnson and Marcus Marshall in the backfield. Marshall goes in motion. DiNucci looked his way, and now he's going to be sacked. Ibrahim Kante, the redshirt freshman defensive end, and a loss of 5.
Yeah, and that's what you do. You come down guns a-blazing there by Kante. It looks like Jahi Jackson, since he was supposed to kick him out, just didn't get enough on him to push him out. DiNucci wanted to bend up inside that, but good job by Kante there. Fight off that block, get in there and make the tackle.
Kante, whose family is from the Ivory Coast, he grew up in Harlem, played Pop Warner football for a year, then not again until his freshman year in high school. And has now landed here at NC State, made one heck of a play there. Second down and goal. Pass is caught. Eldridge upended at the 7 by Chris Ingram. Third and goal upcoming.
Yeah, and I just like what Ben DiNucci does. Take what the defense is giving you.
Right.
You know, you got a clearing route, you send Eldridge underneath, and you put it on him, and you get that negative yards back that you lost with the tackle for the loss, and give yourself a manageable shot here at third and goal from the, you know, just inside the 7.
13th play of the drive. We'll see if this goes for 6. Third and goal, DiNucci's got all day back there. Now tries to throw, the ball is loose. They ruled it a fumble. And it's fumbled again by NC State for the moment as it was knocked down. Deontay Holden had it, and he lost it. And Andreas Bryant.
And it's going to be a fumble, Mike. DiNucci had an empty hand. As he goes to throw it, folks, I got a good look from the booth here. His hand's going to come through empty. That ball never goes forward. Replay will look at it, but this is going to stand. It's going to be an empty hand.
It was Andreas Bryant that was able to get it there, 91, and then he fumbled it at the end, and he is still down right now for NC State.
So replay is going to look at this. Replay official Bob Welch, his communicator Mike Shepard. I talked to them before the game. And obviously got an injured player and a lot of stuff going on here. Replay will look at it. NC State's looking at the big defensive lineman that jumped on the ball, Bryant. And it came out, and I will tell you what, it's a good thing North Carolina State jumped on it, because they could have called it change possessions and JMU could have got it back, but they fought. North Carolina State gets it back, and I think replay will confirm this call. You see, don't get confused. Just because his hand's going forward, the ball does not go forward with the hand. The ball fell out backwards. Hand goes forward. That's an empty hand. That's a fumble, and I think this play will be confirmed.
Well, and you saw there at the end, Jahi Jackson, the left guard for James Madison, number 60, just kind of pounced right on Andreas Bryant.
Yeah, and you just hope he's okay. He had so many big bodies, right? Diving in there, trying to get to the loose ball. Yeah, you never, obviously you never want to see injuries. You never want to see players taken off the field. It's unfortunately part of the game.
And this is just real bad here for NC State and Bryant as they bring out the medical staff to help him off the field.
You know, big Jahi Jackson's a 300-pounder for JMU.
Right.
That's diving in there trying to get the fumble.
And Bryant has done some amazing work off the football field as well. He was an all-region baseball player in high school, hit almost 500. You know, but what he's really done that's, you know, sparked a lot of interest and a lot of support with his community service efforts, if you will, and so many other things he's done back in his hometown. We'll talk about it when we come back. Let's hope he's going to be okay. Thoughts and prayers right now with number 91, Andreas Bryant, the senior defensive tackle for NC State. As I alluded to before we went to break, Rainey, him and a friend from their hometown back in North Charleston, South Carolina, they've really made an impact in the community. They've cooked and distributed meals to homeless people. They've shopped for supplies for the homeless, and he's posted that on his YouTube channel called the Dre and Braylon Feed the Homeless. They did that in June. They did that on Father's Day as well. So you really, you know, your heart goes out to a guy like that who's done it on and off the field and was badly injured on that last play.
Yeah, I mean, just a great young man. I mean, that's what you talk about. Teams, when coaches come in saying change the culture, that's change the culture, right? Young man thinking more about others than himself and giving to the homeless and clothes and food, and it's just an incredible job. And now our thoughts and prayers are just with him, that he's okay. Obviously, the medical staff takes every precaution with a player like this. They're gonna tie him down, they're gonna strap him in there and just make sure everything's okay, get him off the field and get him the best medical treatment possible. So right now, let's just hope and pray that the big man Bryant's okay.
And recapping what happened here again is DiNucci, the quarterback, was scrambling and the ball came loose, so it was a fumble. And then it was the big Andreas Bryant that was able to pounce back on it, pick it up. And at the end of the play, he lost the ball as well. And then he just kind of got pounced on by Jahi Jackson. He got piled on twice, if you will, during that sequence.
Yeah, Jackson's a 300-pounder that's coming in there, and you got a bunch of other 300-pounders just diving for that loose ball. I mean, you don't really see anything there in that replay, but obviously something happened. And so they're going to take every precaution, and hopefully that's all it is precautions. Get him out and make sure he's okay, and the medical staff obviously doing a tremendous job, and they just have to take your time. You have to be diligent in what you're doing, and they do a great job.
And you know, he was looking forward to this season as a senior up on that defensive front. Well, as we said, all the talk was about the 4 guys that were all drafted to go to the NFL from NC State's team last year. This was one of their top returning guys there that was really looking forward to making an impact this season.
Well, I mean, and then, you know, what a crazy play. So, I mean, JMU was looking to put points on the board. I'm assuming replay is going to uphold the call, which is a good thing for NC State where they get the ball back. But you look up, and they're 2 top defensive linemen, right? 91, Bryant, 39, James Smith-Williams out of this game.
Right. Right. Williams went to the locker room just a couple minutes ago. And now Bryant, of course, is going to be out here, and it's a 10-7 lead for NC State. You see the outpouring of his teammates all coming from the sideline now out there to wish him well as they get him on the cart. An ovation from this Carter-Finley Stadium crowd here today as well. We talked to Dave Huxtable, the defensive coordinator for NC State yesterday, and he's really been appreciative of these kids' hard work when they've gotten here. You know, they don't always get the top recruit, the 4-star athlete, whatever. He's been thrilled with the development of the players, and Bryant's one of those guys.
Yeah, you get those guys that kind of go under-recruited, right? And you'll hear me say a lot, a guy with a chip on his shoulder, and they come here and they work hard. But NC State's turning around. They're getting some really good recruits in here now, and that's the name of the game. You got to get the players in here that are of top caliber, and then coach them up, and then get those guys. You know, every good team has those players, those unsung players with the chip on their shoulder, and you start getting them playing with some top-notch recruits, and next thing you know, you're competing for championships.
Officially, it is NC State football here, Rini, as well.
So what'll happen is once they cart Bryant off, the official from the ACC, Dwayne Height, has already talked to the replay official, Bob Welch,
and so both teams early in this game with some opportunities to score and turnovers. So it's happened for each team, and he gave it a thumbs up. There it is. That's great. That's great.
And that's exactly what you want to see. You want to see that movement. You see the crowd out there, or the team out there crowding around them. showing great support. And that is a great sign. I mean, that's, you know, from up here, that's the most you could hope for. That's great news.
No doubt. Andreas Bryant, 91, senior defensive tackle. And with a thumbs up, this will cart him off the field. And if we do get any information about his status, we'll sure pass it on to you here this afternoon. And an ovation from this crowd. And that's the signal you want to see.
Exactly.
At least a thumbs up there from Bryant.
And it just, you know, and it takes a while because you just have to be so precautious in getting him off the field and strapping him into the movement. But seeing him move like that is great news.
And 8 seconds remain now in this first half. Finley goes to the crowd and says, okay, quiet down, here we go, as they get back on offense and see if this team can regroup now with a first down and 10. Looking for the set of the screen, and it's smelled out by the Dukes as Myers made the catch, but Rondell Carter laid the stick for James Madison, a 4-yard loss.
Yeah, and Keyshawn Moore, 31, the linebacker, is the one that actually saw that play. Read it, recognize it, react to it. That's what Moore did, and Rondell Carter came inside out to make that tackle.
Second down and 14. Finley's pass over the middle. And it's caught. It's across the 30-yard line to the 34. It's going to be a 7-yard pickup that time. Myers again. They've liked Myers throughout this game. He's the guy that was their third leading receiver last year. Third in catches, second in yards. And led the team to 5 touchdown catches.
Keep an eye on him here because they said they will target him on third downs.
And it's a 3rd down and 7. Finley, man open, it's Myers again. And they're now 4 or 5 on 3rd down. They extend this drive up to the 44-yard line, gain of 11.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Drinkwitz told us yesterday they will target Jacoby Myers on 3rd down. He's that 3rd down featured receiver. He runs really good routes, and you see Ryan Finley stays on. Jacoby Myers never comes off, and a nice outcut puts it on him, and it keeps the drive alive here. We're under 2 minutes left in this first half.
Finley again, and coming back to make the catch is C.J. Riley, and he's got a first down at the JMU 44-yard line. This is a crucial drive, really, coming off to the injury, end of the first half. You got to get your momentum back.
Well, and you always want to be the team with that positive momentum going into the locker room. So if North Carolina State here can cap this off with some points, get some good vibes at halftime.
Finley again, strong throw, and the reception is made inside the 40-yard line. This time, Emeka Emezi. And the other big thing about it, too, Reedy, is that NC State will get a second half kickoff as well, so they can kind of go back-to-back.
And I love the patience they're showing here. All 3 timeouts left, taking their time, dictating what they want to do to the defense, and now I think they'll burn their first timeout.
They will after the run by Gillespie for the first down. All right, so 58 seconds to play in the first half, and we remind you, coming up on Monday night at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, we've got the Hokies, number 20 in the country, and Florida State, number 19 in the nation. They kick off their seasons with a college football megacast. We've got you covered on all of our network channels, the U, News, ESPN3, alternate productions to bring you this game in the biggest way. And how about this? Our Marty Smith and Ryan McGee will have the first ever Goodyear Blipcast 1,000 feet above Toe Campbell Stadium for the entire game. I can't wait to see that with the MegaCast. They got to have a good spotter for that game.
Yeah,
my brother Brian
maybe a telescope right from the blimp. I love listening to those guys too, so I'm definitely going to tune into that.
And that's going to be Marty Smith and Ryan McGee in the Goodyear Blimp and the Blipcast. Yes. It'll be on Monday night for the Virginia Tech Florida State matchup.
That should be a good one. Willie Taggart named DeAndre Francois the starting quarterback. We know what happened to him last year against Alabama, out for the season. So that's a good matchup. Good ACC conference opener for those two.
Well, QB comparisons in that game here.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Josh Jackson is a little under the radar guy as well. Doesn't, I don't think, get the recognition he should. And DeAndre Francois, we know how good he was, and that really him getting knocked out last year, I think, really derailed Florida State's season. I think that's how important a good starting quarterback is. So we'll see how he looks coming back. And of course, it's Willie Taggart's first game at FSU.
He's a real comeback player of the year candidate there, right, for Francois for Florida State.
It's another team I keep your eye on in the ACC is Florida State. They have a ton of athletes on that team.
JMU had called the timeout afterward, and now we're back to action. First down and 10. Finley dumps it over the middle. It's dangerous. It was behind Myers that time.
Finley's pass is incomplete, intended for number 11.
And over this course of this drive, Finley is now over 7,000 yards of total offense at NC State, over the 5th Wolfpack player to do that. So he's inching his way up the record books in his 3rd and final year as a Wolfpack member after transferring from Boise State.
Yeah, you got to be careful though, right? Those middle of the field passes there, you throw it behind. It's dangerous. That one falls incomplete. 2nd down and 10 for the Wolfpack.
54 seconds to go in the half. Finley again, Myers. Well, he seems like he's just open every play, and Jacoby Myers to the 25-yard line. Timeout again. And it's going to be 3rd down and 2. Coming up at the half, we're going to have a chance to catch up with one of the all-time greats here at NC State. Our interview with Bradley Chubb. We'll have that for you at the half. Plus Adnan Vert, Joey Galloway, Jesse Palmer in the studio with the big matchups today. A breakdown of that. Plus Monday night's matchup that we just mentioned. First half stats and highlights of this game. All that more coming up at the half. So stay tuned for all that.
Bradley's waiting for us. He's a big guy. I don't know how we're going to fit in that spot, but we'll make it happen.
It's going to be a little bit of a tight fit, Bradley, but we'll make it work. It's going to be all right. He says no problem. We're excited to talk to him.
He's a linebacker now, so, you know, a little smaller. Looking forward to talking to Bradley coming up here.
Yeah, going to be more agile now, you know, right? Exactly. How about a 5th overall pick to the Denver Broncos? One of the 7 players drafted for NC State, a school record for them, and 2nd to Alabama last year. Big 3rd down and 2 now. It's Gillespie, and he's got it to the 22-yard line, and that's where they mark it. Far official gave him a pretty good spot.
Now, we talked to Coach Dave Doran last year. They had a lot of kicking woes when they got down here. They got a true freshman kicker, Christopher Dunn. We already see him make one today.
Right.
Scholarship kicker, so they have confidence in their kicking game this season.
1 timeout remaining for the Wolfpack, and the pass is caught. Nice job on the sideline. That's Mezzi, and that stops the clock. 28 seconds to go, and that's a gain of 8.
And if you're JMU, you know, you're giving them the underneath stuff. 28 seconds left, boy, you want to keep them out of the end zone. You'll give them the 3, you're still in it. But boy, that touchdown, all of a sudden you'll be down 10, and there's a lot of momentum for North Carolina State in the locker room.
Finley with some time, rolling out now to the end zone, and it's overthrown. He's kind of sitting back there open too as Harmon is kind of running out of real estate.
Well, he got lost in the back. One of the DBs for JMU lost where Kelvin Harmon was. He was able to slide to the back, but Finley just couldn't put it on him.
You still have your timeout here. A run is not out of the question on 3rd and 2.
Correct, and you can use the middle of the field. Everything's open to you here for Elijah Drinkwitz, the offensive coordinator.
What a first half for Finley as well. 20 of 26 for 200 yards and a touchdown. This is the 12th play of the drive coming on a 3rd down and 2. Finley goes up top, and it is holding C.J. Raleigh. Touchdown, NC State.
That's a great job by C.J. Riley. The 50-50 balls, guys. You got to come down with them. Finley puts it up high and away. And look at the athleticism from C.J. Riley. Big receiver, 6'4", go up. 50-50 ball. You got to come down with it, and he does.
I mean, what are you doing if you're Torres Carroll there, who's right in his face for James Madison?
Yeah, you try to rip the ball out, right? It's a 50-50. That's why they call them 50-50 balls. They're both in good position. C.J. Riley was able to come down with it. And that's the way to cap off a drive if you're North Carolina State.
No doubt about it. You got one of your teammates going down to an injury. Andreas Bryant had to be carted off the field. Your emotions are running wild. Your thoughts and prayers with him. And then they just take it right down the field on this drive, leaving only 18 seconds remaining in the half. NC State's going to receive the second half kickoff as well.
And again, I love the matchup. So you got C.J. Riley, 6'4". He's about 4 or 5 inches taller than Torres Carroll. Carroll's actually in good defensive position there. C.J. Riley just goes up and makes the catch. I like the fact that Ryan Finley, throughout this first half, he's giving his receivers chances to make plays. I mean, for the most part, they are.
They certainly are. 2 touchdown passes of 16 and 14 yards for Finley and C.J. Riley. The sophomore who had just 9 catches for 142 yards last year could be a much bigger part of the offense, of course, this season.
He's a big-time player. They're looking for big things from C.J. Riley.
Bambard kicks it away. Rubber, and it's inside of the 30-yard line, picked up by James Madison, but they're not going to have much time to work with here. And after starting off this game leading 7-0, they've given up 17 straight.
Yeah, you're down 10, just 13 seconds left. Only bad things can happen now.
Right.
I got to believe Mike Houston's going to have Danucci just take a knee here. Get to the locker room again. Down 10 on the road against a team from the ACC. And really, it was a disastrous mistake you had, right, with a turnover where you look like you're going to put points in. So you got to be real careful here.
It's like one of those things where nothing good happens after midnight, right? You just get back home.
Yep. Maybe a little inside handoff. But
right. Yep, you called it, Carden Johnson. And that's going to take us to the end of this first half here from Raleigh, North Carolina. Fun place to start here in the college football opening weekend, if you will, for 2018.
Great excitement here and a good first half.
NC State's going to have the second half kickoff. They scored 17 straight. Don't forget our interview with Bradley Chubb coming up at the half here when we return after this break. 17-7. Wolfpack over the Dukes at the half.
This halftime report is brought to you by Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
Must be a fun homecoming for this guy. Going to be busy when you get back to Raleigh, North Carolina here from Carter-Finley Stadium. Bradley Chubb, the 5th overall pick in the NFL draft to the Denver Broncos, and he joins us now here from Raleigh. Bradley, good to be with you, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's good to be back. Enjoying myself out here.
He's got a lot of fan attention and support here when you come back to this place, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I'm playing and stuff, I got to be locked in and can't really say hey to the fans. But now that I'm just on the sideline watching, I get to talk to the fans and say what's up to them.
So now, Bradley, you played D-end in North Carolina State. They got you standing up now as a linebacker for Denver, right? So I just want the folks to know at home, I played a little bit in the NFL as a running back. This is a linebacker now. Look at the size of him. How's that been standing up?
It's been good. I mean, it's been an adjustment for sure. Throughout OTAs and like the beginning of training camp, I was still trying to get my feet wet, but I feel like as the preseason went forward, I was doing a lot better and just trying to keep building on it.
What have the coaching staff said to you? What are the players saying to you? What's the experience like as a newcomer, a rookie, and a high draft pick as yourself?
I mean, as a rookie, life is hard. You know what I'm saying? That's for everybody in the NFL. But being so highly drafted, they look to me as the rookie class looks to me as a leader. So I just try to be that as much as possible. I feel like we have a great rookie class, and just trying to be the head of that is pretty cool.
Now I see you're here today with B.J. Hill, another defensive lineman. Talk about all 4 defensive linemen from last year got drafted, and he had 7 players overall. Talk about the pride in that, right?
I mean, yeah, I brag about that every day at the office and stuff like that. So I'm just excited glad me and BJ could come back and give the fans back what they gave to us and stuff like that. I know Justin and Contavious, they're out in California, so it's a little long of a flight. Yeah. But I know they could be here if they wanted to. But I'm just glad we all got the job done, and we're all in the NFL living our dreams out.
How about when you go up against your former teammates here and the entire defensive front?
Oh yeah. We play everybody but BJ, I believe. So. Okay. Yeah, we play when we play Justin twice. I know I'm gonna get a jersey one of those times, and then when we play Street, I'm gonna get a jersey too. So it's gonna be fun playing against those guys, talking trash the whole week.
No doubt.
Talk about that feeling that very few people can feel when they call your name and you walk across that stage as the 5th overall pick in the NFL draft.
Oh man, it's crazy. Being in the green room, you think, oh man, it's just taking forever. I'm 5 picks, and it felt like I was in there for 5 hours. Yeah. So it's definitely stressful, but it was fun. I had a good time. I had everybody I cared about was there with me. Everybody that cares about me was there. So I mean, it was a good time, and to get that phone call is probably one of the best, most life-changing things ever.
Yeah. What do you think about this season for NC State? What are you going to tell the fans about how this team's going to do this year?
Oh, man, I don't know if y'all see it, but I think Ryan Finley is going to throw for 10,000 yards this year.
Yeah.
Got about 5 receivers who can get 1,000 yards each, so I'm excited to see what they do. And the defense is young, but I feel like they're going to iron out the kinks with this game and next week, and just continue to build on what they're doing now.
All right, well, looking forward to watching you on Sundays, my friend. Thanks so much for taking the time to come here.
Thanks for having me, no doubt.
Right, you got it. Bradley Chubb,
Ciao, buddy.
5th overall pick to the Broncos here. NC State, one of the best here of all time, and we'll be back with more at the half from Raleigh. 17-7, Wolfpack leading.
Do we really have to choose him to be our next spokesperson?
He's so boring.
Sounds like you're on the fence. Why don't I just leave you my resume? Yes, it's laminated.
No thanks.
You're hired. Try caramel M&Ms.
Ow.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with 0 sugar. This is the Pepsi with 0 compromises. This is Pepsi 0 Sugar.
We know good things come to those who wait. Up. We know the great outdoors. We love the great outdoors. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, where incredible selection, great people, and memorable experiences all come together. Come in today for great Labor Day deals, like Redhead Pocket Tees and Henleys, 2 for $25. Save 25% on this Pro Qualifier bait cast reel, and save $50 on this Masterbuilt Extra Large Temperature Control Smoker.
More and more people are finding themselves in a Chevy for the first time. You can too during the Chevy Labor Day sales event. Now through September 10th, use Labor Day cash to get almost $5,000 below MSRP on this 2018 Equinox LT when you finance with GM Financial. This Labor Day, discover why Chevy is the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Back in Raleigh, North Carolina for the Wolfpack and the Dukes here today. Halftime 17-7. NC State leads it by 10 after James Madison scored the first 7 points of this ball game. Welcome back, everyone, to Carter-Finley Stadium. Mike Corey, Rini Ngolia. Not a bad start for the Dukes. What happened since then? What was your take?
Yeah, I mean, the turnover really hurt them. It looked like they were going to go in and score, maybe take the lead. You get the turnover by Ben DiNucci. North Carolina State capitalizes on that, and boy, how good does Ryan Finley look today?
Yeah, Finley looks really good. So does Ben DiNucci. DiNucci, though, a quarterback for James Madison. I mean, both QBs playing well and moving the football.
Yeah, but with it all said and done, you know, JMU only down 10, got to regroup. We talked about it earlier. These bigger FBS programs usually wear down these FCS teams. They just don't have the depth. We'll see what JMU can do in the second half.
First half action, and James Madison and DiNucci was making some plays down the field, finding multiple targets.
Yeah, and that's what I like, the experience from Ben DiNucci moving around. Riley Stapleton there, his big receiver. And Ryan Finley did the same thing, moved it around, got it to some different receivers, and really managed the offense really well. And he's got such a strong arm. He can strike quickly, and he looked really good.
Mixed in a field goal between the two touchdown passes, but I thought that drive at the end of the half was crucial for NC State. They took it all the way down to 18 seconds left. Those are some of the first half stats, and we'll see if NC State can hang on here, or will JMU pull off the upset today at 17-7 at the half. We'll be back to Raleigh, North Carolina. Half number 2 coming your way. We are in college football presented by Edward Jones. You're watching ESPN College Football presented by Edward Jones. This Saturday afternoon from Raleigh, North Carolina, NC State 17, James Madison 7, Mike Corey, Rini Ngolia as we get ready for the second half. Any other numbers that kind of stood out to you first half-wise there in
we talked about Ryan Finley, 21 of 27, 214, 2 touchdowns. But you talked about Ben DiNucci. I mean, you look up and he was 14 for 14. He didn't have an incomplete pass, 93 yards. And, of course, he led the Dukes in rushing as well with 34 net yards. Of course, that quarterback, you lose yards when he gets sacked. So that always hurts the numbers.
There's the fair catch signal for NC State, so they're going to get the ball at the 25-yard line. That's the new rule this year. Trowell call for the fair catch. Anything inside of the 25, you make the catch, you automatically get the ball at the 25.
Dave Dorn told us if his return man are going to catch it going towards their end zone, kind of away with no momentum, go ahead and fair catch it, and it's boom, just like that, you get the ball at the 25-yard line.
All right, how about quarterback comparisons here as we were talking about it? Ben DiNucci for James Madison and Ryan Finley for NC State.
Both of them looked outstanding. You know, DiNucci does a little more with his feet, and I think that's what has kept really the Dukes in this game. And, you know, Finley, what can you say? He checks all the boxes. That's why he's the #1 rated quarterback for Todd McShay.
NC State football, 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line, start of the second half, and Reggie Gillespie and the play blown dead with a flag here.
Ball start. Offense, number 11, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And it's not the way you want to start. Second half, those unforced penalties, those false starts, will drive coaches bonkers, especially when it's a wide receiver like Jacoby Myers.
What a first half, too, for Jacoby Myers. Played very well. 9 catches, 88 yards.
And third down. He was a third down killer, making receptions to keep drives alive.
1st and 15, Finley in some duress and throws it away, incomplete. I think it was intended on the pass for Damian Darden, covered by Keyshawn Moore.
Yeah, and we've called Rondell Carter, number 5, the defensive end for JMU. We've called his name a few times, and he's a very active defensive end. We talked about it. He's one of those transfers, played at Rutgers, transferred here, and going to have a big season for the Dukes.
Second down and 15. Quick pass out into the flat, and it's Myers, and he's hit initially at the 15-yard line. Wayne Davis on the initial hit for James Madison. They've been involved in some of these plays very early.
You talk about reading, recognizing, and reacting to a play. Wayne Davis sees bubble screen, he goes. He's another one of those transfers we talked about. He came from Ohio State. And he's actually getting blocked in the back as well. Forces the play, lets his teammates get there to make the tackle. I mean, this is how you defend bubble screen. Nice job, Wayne Davis.
Yeah, that was Kelvin Harmon there, number 3 that time for NC State that hit him. The player down was Myers, so that's not good as he kind of limps off the field.
You know, on bubble screen, if you're a defender, if you can slip inside of the wide receiver that tries to block you, then you've destroyed the play, because the only thing that receiver can now do is push you in the back and block you in the back, and that's exactly what Wayne Davis did. He crossed his face, he beat the block, and blew up that play.
Randy, you talked about these early games, these first games of the season where everybody's jacked up, ready to go. That is now the third player down for NC State, and a very, very good player.
Let's be honest, Camp, I think because of player safety, isn't as physical as it used to be. I know I'm old school in you there, and boy, you come out and this is your first live action where you're really going at it, and you'll see some guys get banged up.
Third down and 22. Finley goes up top. Aldridge, excuse me, has the catch, but he's out of bounds. So Kelvin Harmon, what a play, but did not get the foot in.
Again, excellent coverage. That's the second or third time we've seen that where a North Carolina State receiver has come down with it, but just out of bounds. Can't get that left foot in, and that's just good coverage right there by Wesley McCormick, the corner. Yeah, he's going to catch it, but force him out of bounds like that, and it goes for naught. And a good defensive stand here to start the second half for JMU.
This is the first punt of the game for the Wolfpack as A.J. Cole III kicks it, but it lands in NC State territory, and James Madison's going to have excellent starting field position on their opening drive of the second half.
That's exactly what you want to do, right? If you're the defense of JMU, get a stop. You know, North Carolina State had that momentum at halftime. Force a punt. It's not a good punt at all. We got a touch quick, so just like that, 42-yard line, good field position for JMU.
Just a 29-yard kick. The injuries to NC State players. James Smith-Williams on defense. Andreas Bryant as well. They had to bring out the card for him late in that first half. And then just Jacoby Myers here on offense, limped off the field. Not a good situation right now for them as JMU has it, down by only 10 points as Marcus Marshall runs for a couple off to the left side.
And I think this is an important drive for JMU to go down and put some points on to show North Carolina State, hey, we're not going away, we're staying here. I think if NC State can, really what they needed to do is come out in this first half, put a drive together, get some distance against this JMU team. They weren't able to do that in that first drive, so we'll see who can win this battle here, the JMU offense or the North Carolina State defense.
Handoff here from Marshall again. It's going to set up a third down and manageable. I agree with you because they scored very early in this game, got some confidence there. They held NC State to a field goal at one point, but they just haven't been able to put points on the board. You can hold your own, but that's not going to help you win the game. You're going to get points.
So, a couple run plays, and this might be a place on the field where Mike Houston might decide, hey, we got 2 downs to get it. We might go for it on 4th if we don't pick it up here.
Trey Sharp is in the backfield. Third down. Danucci, he's done this a lot today. He does it again. Danucci tripped up inside the 15 by Jarius Moorhead, who saves what could have been a touchdown run by the Duke's quarterback.
And that's not a call play. It turns out it looks like a quarterback draw, but he's in the pocket. He's scanning the field, and he sees the green grass in front of him. And if you don't have a spy, he's going to step up and not only pick up that first down, but a nice gain of 28 yards on that play.
He's got 58 yards on the ground today himself as this handoff is smelled out by NC State. Man, they're all over Trey Sharp. That's Laurel Murchison and Darian Roseboro. The tackle for the Wolfpack.
Murchison's been very impressive in camp. This is his first game starting. That's how you cross the face right there, the offensive lineman, to get to that back for the TFL, the tackle for the loss.
Defensive coordinator Dave Huxtable told us yesterday he was very impressed with Murchison and excited about his progress in the preseason. Sharp on the carry. And it's going to bring up third down. Now, are you okay with a field goal here at least to bring it to a one possession ball? You've got to get that at least.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get points here if you're JMU. I think you only decide to go for it if you're scoring for sure and you think you're going to play. But yeah, no, you got to get points on this stop to get some momentum. And a good sign for North Carolina State. James Smith-Williams, I notice, is back in the game.
That is a good sign. Jawan Hamilton is in the ball game now, running back, the transfer from UCF, and now he splits out wide. Empty backfield, third down for Danucci. with time. Guns it, it's Stapleton. He's got it inside the 5. He's going to be shy of a touchdown.
This spot's important, though. The line judge runs in. I think he's going to be just shy of the first down. Right. They can pick up a first down. I think it just, halfway between the 3 and the 2, and it looks like they're short.
Yeah, that's what I meant, just shy of the first down. Exactly. And let's see now.
Yeah, he didn't. I'll tell you what, he did not hesitate one bit. Talking about Mike Houston, Jamie Curtis, he sent the whole team out.
That's Ethan Ratke, the sophomore kicker. This is just a 19-yard field goal attempt to make it a 7-point ball game. And the kick is good. So 17-10 now. NC State's lead is down to 7. Mike Houston and the Dukes like it. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. But a good day so far here today in Raleigh, North Carolina. And Bradley Chubb, B.J. Hill going to catch up with Chubb at halftime. The first-round pick of the Broncos. Hill, third-round pick to the New York Giants.
Yeah, it tells you something how good your defensive line was, right? All 4 guys get drafted.
Right.
Pretty good.
Now, James Madison getting that field goal. They were close to pay dirt, though, Rainey. I was going to go with a comment you had made, and Coach Houston had no thought about it. He wanted to get the points, but what about you? Do you think they could have won for it?
It's a confident coach. It's saying, hey, we're going to be down there again.
Gotcha. NC State on the return across the 25-yard line. Maurice Trowell. And pretty good starting field position for them, brought down by Mike Cobbs. This season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, All-State will make a contribution to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, All-State.
And I think, if you're a team that you don't have confidence, Mike, and you're down by the goal line and you just think, I got to risk it, I got to try to score here. Mike Houston, no thought about it whatsoever. Send the kicker out, get 3, get it back within 7, and let's play football.
We're right there in it here. 10 minutes and 13 seconds to go, third quarter. Less than 5 minutes gone by in the third. Wolfpack from the 28-yard line. And it's option here now. I haven't seen that today, and it goes to Myers, so he's okay, as well as he hobbled off the field on the last offensive possession.
Yeah, a little different wrinkle from Elijah Drinkwitz there. A little option with Finley to the receiver, Jacoby Myers, coming out of the slot. Show you a little something different.
And that's the thing you have to think about in the early part of the season. I know fans sometimes look for more imaginative things and they want to go deep and take shots. You can't put all your stuff out there in game 1.
You got to ease yourself in. There's only so much installation you can do, and but they look good thus far.
Finley into double coverage, and it's almost intercepted. D'Angelo Amos that time. The best chance at it for JMU.
And I tell you what, Amos playing free safety. If he picks this off, Mike, he may take this to the house.
Wanted a Mezzi that time.
Yeah, Finley tried to get it into Mezzi, and just Amos playing center field comes up and can't come up with the interception.
It's a big third down right now. 3rd down and 7 for NC State. James Madison trying to get off the field, 3 and out. Finley with time. Pass is caught. And initially, the catch was made past the first down marker. Now let's see what they spotted here. So it's Mezzi on the reception. He says first down.
He's short, Mike. Mezzi caught the ball at the sticks, but he went backwards on his own. If you go on your own and then get tackled, he's going to be short by about half a football here. And it's 4th down. They'll measure, but we'll see how my eyes are first game of the season here from the booth. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. So the ball started, okay, at the 28-yard line, Mike. They marked these markers. I know you hear me say this, line to line. So the line to gain was the 38. He's short of the 38 by about a half a football from the mark. Yeah, I think it's a good call. You got to remember, when we look at camera angles, they're angles. That wasn't a straight-on look.
Right. And you're right about the line markers, absolutely. So they are short, and now you have to think, if you're Coach Dave Doran, I mean, there's so much time left here in the third. You just gave up a field goal. You don't want to give JMU a short field if you somehow don't get this and go for it.
Yeah,
I would punt this ball away.
This is why you make the big bucks as a head coach, to make these decisions.
Or he wants to gamble and go for it here.
Looks like he's putting in his beefy crew here. He's got his big back, Gillespie back in.
They are not going to punt. At least they don't show it here as Finley's under center. Gillespie is a deep back. They try to sneak it, and it's going to be close. It's going to depend on this spot here. Only needed less than half a yard, but...
Well, it's very simple. When they come out of this pile, if the official has the nose of the football touching the 38-yard line, it'll be a first down. If that nose is short of the and it's a first down. Yeah, and that's what the official's looking at, right? I mean, the referee, Dwayne Height, knows that, and it's exactly where they marked it. They actually gave him a little push past the 38, and that's, you know, here's the other thing, too. I kind of like the attitude there from Dave Doran saying, hey, guys, we need a half a yard. Go do it.
Right.
Let's pick it up. And it's an attitude and, you know, setter, not only for this game, but for the season.
Finley, as Gillespie picks up a defensive player, good pass protection, and he's got Myers again to the JMU 41-yard line.
Officials timeout for injury.
Injured player down, and that's Tyrone Prescott, the left guard for NC State, back at the 34-yard line.
And Prescott's a good one of the big fifth-year seniors, 6'5", 334.
We'll step aside, injury timeout here in Raleigh. All right, so Tyrone Prescott coming off the field for NC State, the offensive lineman, as they are back to work now inside of the 40-yard line on the run for the Wolfpack. 3-yard gain. Bryson Speeds is now in at left guard, the redshirt freshman for NC State. As Gillespie is the running back after a big pass play to Jacoby Myers. This drive is now in JMU territory. Second down run by Gillespie. It's held up at the 35-yard line here.
And, you know, Gillespie just, you know, as a back, I can tell you're just looking for that one good run. You know, that 15, 20-yarder just to get you going, get those numbers up there, and get the juices flowing, and give JMU credit. That defensive front has done a nice job limiting Reggie Gillespie to some big runs.
Gillespie's had a very solid career here. Has always kind of been like that #2 back. You know, the last couple years. We talked to him yesterday. But this is his year now as the starter. 3rd down and 4 from the 35-yard line.
Yeah. Keep an eye out for Jacoby Myers on this 3rd down.
Finley and a little miscommunication there. And they're going to throw a flag, though, as Harmon was tied up with Wesley McCormick, who's the quarterback for James Madison, might end up bailing them out.
Wow, and it was the back judge.
Defense, number 30. The ball will be placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
The line judge and the field judge that were looking at it on that sideline did not throw a flag. It came about 40 yards away from the back judge. So I got to believe he saw a hold in there. Yeah, and I'm telling you what the back judge saw. The DB had his right hand. He grabbed the shoulder of the receiver. The other two were straight line. They didn't see it. That's a good call from the back judge. That's the appropriate call.
And that's too bad if you're James Madison, too, because, you know, it looked like he thought he would do a comeback route to the ball, as now it's going to be Ricky Person Jr. on the carry for a loss of 1. So he wasn't even running the right route there.
The coverage was good. It's just that little grab. You know, a little grab, you turn the shoulder, the official sees that, and they're going to call it.
Second down, 11 from the 26-yard line.
I feel like it's a little tough to kind of get into a rhythm in this 3rd quarter for either team, right?
I'm with you, Mike, 100%.
Going on for a while, I feel
like. A little
like.
choppy in this quarter, and it really came out. NC State came out a little flat there that first possession of the 3rd quarter.
Second down and 11, Finley. And that is off the hands of his wide receiver, C.J. Riley. Of course, we had the unfortunate injury to Andreas Bryant, the defensive player for NC State. It took him a lot of time early in this quarter as well. And now this is a 7-point ball game here. And it's a third down and 11 for NC State. They've got a freshman kicker. So let's see what happens here.
And again, important on this drive, too, for NC State to answer and get some points and just try to get jump-started here in this second half.
Myers in motion on third down and 11. JMU, do they bring some pressure here? Finley hit as he throws, and it forces an overthrow. Looking for Amezi. John Daka brought the quarterback pressure that time for James Madison.
And that was on Daka. I mean, he forced Finley to throw that, you know, a count before he wanted to. And Daka playing really well, top of the screen. He's going to come up and put the hit on Finley. And again, forcing him just to throw it one count too soon. And it's incomplete, and they're going to go for a long field goal here, Mike.
Well, this is in Christopher Dunn's range, the freshman out of Lexington, North Carolina. It's going to be a 43-yarder. They said that he'd be good up to about 47. Let's see if he can convert. This is to push NC State back up by 10, and it's no good. And it stays a 7-point ball game. James Madison holds them. And we'll get this football back.
Yeah, tough, true freshman coming in. A little pressure on you there. And that JMU defense holds. Duke's ball on the other side.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by the makers of Aleve Back and Muscle Pain. All day strong, all day long. And Mountain Dew. Do the do.
I distinctively remember that season for 2004 for James Madison. Mickey Matthews, their head coach, really good coach, was actually on the hot seat that year. They end up winning the national championship, and then it all starts from there. You know, they start to get the stadium going. Their fan support is crazy. Fast forward here, they win another national championship. You got to go back to that 2004 season with them winning the title for JMU Nation. DiNucci over the middle, and it's almost intercepted. Wow, Tim Kid Glass had his hands on the football for NC State. That's his first incomplete pass now for Ben DiNucci today.
And it should have been intercepted. Boy, great coverage. They baited DiNucci into this throw. Tim Kid Glass undercuts it, should have picked it off. Can't come up with it. And that would have been big for the Wolfpack defense.
DiNucci is 15 of 16 passing today, and it's second down and 10. That pass is caught. It's Josh Sims, makes a nice spin move and gets a first down for JMU. That's just good awareness as a wide receiver. You know where you're going with it after the catch.
Listen, pitch and catch, right? You got a 5-yard gain, then you make a guy miss, you turn it up, and you're looking at 10, 11, 12 yards and a first down. I mean, it's just simple football right there.
Offensive coordinator Donnie Kirkpatrick for JMU told us this guy's going to make a splash. He had a great camp. And talking about number 83, Sims. Now it's Cardin Johnson.
Number 25, Cardin Johnson.
Coming up on 5 minutes to go in the third quarter here. JMU, one possession ball game.
And as good as a stable of backs JMU has, Mike Houston said, Cardin Johnson's the best. He was out all last year, medical redshirt, got hurt early, tore that Achilles tendon, and is back again this year.
6th season for him. Second down, Ben DiNucci. And just over the outstretched arms of David Eldridge. What about this third down play here? Now, DiNucci, he stands tall. He's confident in the pocket.
Well, you know, I believe it'll be a passing play, but what's killed North Carolina State in these situations is DiNucci scrambling, picking stuff up with his feet. So you gotta keep him closed in, and if he decides to run, you gotta come up and make that tackle.
trips to the top. Johnson in motion to the bottom. 3rd down and 7. There it is. DiNucci as they clear it out, and he's able to run easily for the 1st down in an NC State territory, right what we were talking about.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like Ben DiNucci looks at the coverages, right? He sees what he has. He sees it open up, and if he can pick it up with his feet, he does. And he is a little limping around there. I don't know, maybe if he cramping up. It is very warm today as we take a look at it, and the coverage just clears, it's open, and he takes off with it and picks it up.
Brady, they changed it up here at quarterback, as you're right. DiNucci may have, pulled a muscle as Cole Johnson is now in at quarterback, and he's going to hand off. And let's find out if DiNucci's going to be okay here.
And there was a good chance we were going to see Cole Johnson today anyway. And I really believe, from my experience, what I saw out of Ben DiNucci is he's cramping up. I mean, it's a 90-degree, very hot day, and you've got to get those fluids in there. But Cole Johnson, a very good quarterback. It was a really close race in camp, and a very capable quarterback.
After a 2-yard run by Johnson, it's 2nd down and 8. And here's Cole Johnson, the quarterback, whose pass is caught at the 40-yard line. E.J. Morgan on the catch. So let's go back to what happened to DiNucci. A possible hamstring, as he went over to the sideline after that run,
yeah,
right?
Again, nothing. He's going to grab here at the end of the run right there. You see it. And so that's usually, you hope it's a cramp. Because, boy, hamstring injuries are lingering. I've had them, and they will be a bugaboo the entire season.
3rd down and 3. Cole Johnson. Pass knocked down at the line of scrimmage. And Aleem McNeil got his hand on it for NC State. And that's got to be tough for the Dukes. You had that drive moving. You had a 1st down run by your quarterback. Now they had to change it up.
Johnson's a bigger quarterback, 6'5". It's unusual to see a ball of his get knocked down, but good timing by that North Carolina State defensive front to knock that down. Force a punt here.
Well, and the difference with Johnson and DiNucci, Rainey, is that Johnson, as you said, taller. He's more in the pocket. He's not going to be able to scramble as much as DiNucci does. And the punt here, solid by Harry O'Kelly, and it is down at the 1-yard line. 39-yard kick doesn't get any better than
like a
that.
60-degree sandwich by Harry O'Kelly with a little backspin, a little juice on that inside the 1.
Gonna have him help me with my short game before we get back on the course. College football back on ABC. We've got number 6 Washington and number 9 Auburn. We're gonna check that out 3:30 after we're done here, and then at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, Louisville, and number 1 Alabama. As college football is back, my friends.
Looks like we're gonna see both quarterbacks tonight for Bama, huh? Tua and Jalen.
That's right. That's going to be interesting to see. Alabama, of course, the favorite here this season. There are the 2 QBs, and I love, everybody must think about it. Oh, what a great problem to have, right?
Yeah.
You'd like to have one good one. Boy, they got options.
As long as you can keep them happy.
Exactly.
And the unfortunate thing for Louisville tonight, Mike, no Lamar Jackson. We saw him in person last year. That kid is phenomenal and doing some work in the NFL as well.
He is with the Ravens. They lose a good one there, and Alabama's got 2 to choose from here. Gillespie,
for injury.
A short gain as they try to get some breathing room. Injured player down for James Madison, Rondell Carter. And now he's up.
That's a good sign. He's been really active today, so if you're JMU, you do not want to lose Rondell Carter, but running off the field on his own power.
Listen, when you think about this game, James Madison, an FCS team, but not your typical FCS team, and we talked to Coach Houston about this, I don't see the difference too much in the size advantage or the speed or anything like that. This is a good matchup here.
And the amount of scholarships JMU has. There's 130 FBS teams. If JMU got poofed to the FBS tomorrow, they'd be in the middle of that pack.
Right. Finley, deep in his own end zone. Nobody's open. Now he guns it, and that's going to be incomplete. It was caught there by Harmon. He's well out of bounds.
Always scary if your quarterback scramble in the end zone. A lot of bad things are going to happen. He could step on the back line, get a safety, could be holding in the end zone for a safety. Wow, and he almost, from my view here in the booth, he almost stepped out of the back of the end zone.
You're right. You've got to have that QB smarts back there, which we know Finley does, because if you don't get that ball back to the line of scrimmage, it's going to be a safety.
Yeah, I mean, he was about 8 inches from touching that line. The referee's right there, and that would have been a safety, but a big 3rd and long here, backed up to your own goal line.
See if JMU tees off here now. 3rd down and 9. Finley, pressure coming. He throws. The pass is caught. Oh, it's Jacoby Myers. No. Yes, he's knocked out at the 13-yard line. It is complete for the 1st down. An 11-yard gain.
Now listen, he's the 3rd down specialist. That time, Bob Trott, the defensive coordinator, sent pressure at Ryan Finley. He delivers the ball on time to Jacoby Myers. That's a huge play to pick up that 1st down and get him off their goal line.
Thought for a moment the line judge was thinking about it, but a complete catch there from Myers, who's been the go-to player today for Finley.
Got to survive the ground, right? How many times have we heard that last year?
Ricky Person now carrying for NC State.
Number 20, Ricky
exactly.
Person Jr. is the
Control
ball
the ball. Get 1 foot or body part down inbounds and survive the ground, controlling the ball through the process of the catch.
And they've gotten a lot better, you know, cleaning it up. I mean, it was, you know, I blame the NFL on that, confusing everything. And but I think college has a pretty good grasp on it.
Clock coming up in a minute to go in this 3rd quarter. Play fake, pressure again. Finley's pass is incomplete off the hands of Thayer Thomas.
Well, if Thayer's going to go back to Ryan and say, hey, man, you owe me lunch. Because when you throw a high ball like that over the middle, it opens your receiver's midsection to take a big hit. And he took a little one there, no doubt about it.
Thayer Thomas is a pretty good talent that they're going to have for years to come. A redshirt freshman. You think back to one of the earlier touchdowns for them.
He's a baseball player as well, right?
Yep. Out of Wake Forest, North Carolina. We're back to a 3rd down and 8. 7 for 11 on 3rd down for NC State this game. 1 for 4, though, this half. Finley falling down, and he's going to get close to the marker. Let's see where they spot it. 23-yard line.
He's going to have it, Mike. Just enough.
Number 15, Ryan Finley on the quarterback.
And that time JMU didn't blitz him. But he has enough green to step up, and he doesn't run a lot, but he's athletic, and he's pretty fast for his size. Coach said he's a 4.65 40 guy, and he gets just enough to pick up this 1st down.
Persons in the backfield, 1st down and 10. Might be the final play of the 3rd quarter here. We'll see. Pass deflected, though, at the line. And that was deflected by Matt Terrell.
Pass is incomplete, intended for number 3, Kelvin Harmon.
So there will be another play. 12 seconds to go.
And Terrell gets that big left hand up. Good watching Ryan Finley timing it up well. It's deflected because he had his receiver, Kelvin Harmon, on the outcut open there.
We'll see what the Wolfpack dials up here. 2nd down and 10. 1 possession ball game here. 3rd quarter winding down. He's going to call timeout.
Timeout. North Carolina State. 1st timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Well, so the play clock winding down, and we'll talk about it here. So 17-10 is the score right now, and we've got this Sunday night matchup for you on the way tomorrow night. How about it? Number 8 Miami, number 25 LSU. That's in Arlington, Texas. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, and some quarterback battles there.
Yeah. We talked about Malik Rozier from Miami. We'll see if he can fix that completion percentage a little bit. 14 interceptions last year under coach Joe Burrows, the transfer from Ohio State. But you know what I really like from Miami? Shaq Quarterman. It's one of their linebackers. I remember him as a true freshman a couple years ago. The kid is dynamite. He's fast. So, you know, again, I think Miami's kind of going under the radar a little bit, Mike.
Well, brought a lot of attention, of course, over the last few years and the way their defense is played and the turnover chain and all that stuff. Yeah, you know, we talked to Bob Trott, defensive coordinator for James Madison.
No turnover chains at JMU.
And for JMU, it was a defense that was 1st in the nation in FCS in scoring D and interceptions, 33.
Yeah, and 44 takeaways altogether.
Yeah, so their D just gets it done. Doesn't draw too much attention about it as they do it again here.
Number 20, Ricky Person.
A very short run by Person. And we will step aside. That is the end of 3 here today from Raleigh. First game of the season for NC State and JMU. And it's a start of the 4th quarter here today. And how about it with the FCS upsets? Do we have another Appalachian State, Michigan? We do that. Eastern Washington, Oregon State. How about North Dakota State? How great they've been over the last few years. Rainy defeating Iowa, and James Madison got it done as well versus Virginia Tech.
And by the way, Virginia Tech went on to win the ACC that year in 2010. So one thing you can bring to the bank every season, an FCS opponent will beat an FBS. Is this the game? Well, we got a quarter to find out.
Yeah, 15 minutes away from finding out if JMU can do it again. They're down by only 7, and this is a big 3rd down here to start this 4th quarter as the Dukes try to get back on offense. 3rd down and 9 for Ryan Finley and the Wolfpack. Here they come. Pass is caught. Riley, and he's ripped down right to the stick. And let's see if on that tackle he gets a good enough spot for the 1st down.
And I think he's short, Mike. The line judge was right there to mark it. And I think he's going to be just short.
Wow, so unlike what Coach Doran did the last time they had 4th and inches going for it, he sends the punt team right onto the field.
Yeah, you got to kick this away. You're playing with poison here. Now, if you're JMU, you go punt safe. You basically, don't worry about the return. Watch for any type of crazy fakes and do not jump off sides.
There's the kick from Cole. Fair catch called for inside the 25-yard line for JMU by D'Angelo Amos. And they were in this area of the field, too. It wasn't like they were that much past that when they went for it 4th down the last time. It's James Madison football, though, down by 7 when we return. 7-point ball game here with NC State and James Madison, and Ben DiNucci is back on the field for the Dukes here. Rainey, who was banged up a series ago, was holding his hamstring.
And a big part of his game today has been on the ground running, so we'll have to watch that here as in the end of this game in this 4th quarter.
Those total numbers there added up to 16 of 18 passing for 114 yards, also 69 yards rushing today as well. Handoff to the Marcus Marshall on 1st down. Excellent job. He's going to get 7 yards, maybe 8.
41, Isaiah Moore on the tackle.
JMU playing with confidence in this ball game.
Again, it's a matter of depth. Can they stay in this game? And they've done so well to this point. This is a huge drive for both the teams.
Marshall on the rush.
Marshall.
Number 39, James.
And it is a 1st down for JMU. Mike Houston, 3rd season as head coach, coming in saying we're going to be aggressive. Yeah. They're confident. Yep.
His mentality is, we're going to punch you in the mouth type mentality. That physicalness, they want to play on both sides of the ball. And they do it week in and week out.
Welcome everyone here for James Madison and NC State. The Dukes have the football here and are moving down the field on this catch for Josh Sims. Another 1st down. And upset alert is on watch here now early in this 4th quarter.
And the story for JMU today is their transfer quarterback from Pitt, Ben DiNucci. He's spread the ball around. He's been excellent in his completion percentage, and he's hurting North Carolina State with his feet scrambling today.
1st down and 10 now. The handoff from Marcus Marshall, and he's brought down for a loss. Well, Royal Murchison leading the charge, first on the scene for NC State. Looking at some of the numbers here today for these two teams. Pretty well even. I mean, passing yards for NC State over 250, but both quarterbacks have played very well here. Ben DiNucci for James Madison and Ryan Finley for NC State.
Finley's playing great, but you see that 56 yards rushing for North Carolina State. Dave Doran does not like that. You got to have more productivity in the run game.
2nd down and 12, DiNucci. Well, here we go, taking off and sliding across midfield.
Number 6, Ben DiNucci on the quarterback keeper.
You can definitely tell, though, that leg, that hamstring is affecting him. He's a little ginger there. He didn't come out with that burst how he was running earlier on.
There's our comparison between the quarterbacks today. Took a long time before DiNucci even had an incomplete pass. It was 14 of 14 to start. Third down, though. Here we go. Big one. 4 for 9 of the Dukes on third today. Pressure up the middle. DiNucci got crushed, but the pass is caught. And it's a first down on the far side by Riley Stapleton. Somehow able to make that catch.
Well, and that's a ball that Ben DiNucci has to throw. He's going to get hit. Throw it to your best receiver, Riley Stapleton, a big target, and let him go up and make the catch. 50-50 ball. We saw him earlier today. Riley Stapleton comes down with it in a huge conversion for JMU.
Marshall on a short run on first down. It was a huge completion, and boy, DiNucci now had the hamstring when he's run to the sideline. Took a big shot there from the defense for NC State. This guy's tough.
Yeah, tough as nails, and you got to be, right? Especially when you're trying to upset a team like North Carolina State on the road. Got to be tough.
Changing up the running back now. Jawan Hamilton is in, the speedster. And they'll give it to him. Here he goes. Not much. He's at UCF, got a medical red shirt after the second game last season. But he's another viable target they have.
I remember him playing at UCF. He had 11 starts for UCF as a freshman in that 2016 season. So he's a good one as well.
Crowd coming alive, and another big third down for JMU. Can they convert again? 3rd and 7. DiNucci, low throw, but it's caught again, and it's Stapleton, the same situation. 2 conversions on third down, both to Stapleton. That one goes for 8.
You know what I'm going to say. I love the route by Riley Stapleton. He got past the first down marker. He comes back to make the catch, and although he's on the ground, he secures the ball. He's got the first down because he ran the route deeper than the yard to gain. So that's just an intelligent play from Riley Stapleton. Ben DiNucci puts it on him low and away, and another first down for the Dukes.
And you got Marshall with Hamilton blocking in front on the 2-back set that time for JMU. Boy, Stapleton's been outstanding.
He was Brian Shore's favorite target all of last year, and it looks like he's going to be Ben DiNucci and or Cole Johnson's favorite target once again this year.
And how about Marshall, too, a guy that's coming back to his hometown here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Former Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket. He's had a solid game today as well for JMU. 2nd down. Again. Takes a hit, keeps going. Marshall inside the 10. Finally drags out of bounds. And it was Isaiah Moore that tracked him down. But that's a 26-yard gain.
Just a good, strong run. And, oh, by the way, his dad's a former running back. So, yeah, the apple doesn't far fall from the tree there. Good, tough run by Marcus Marshall. Breaking tackles, and it's 1st and goal for JMU.
Not only a former running back, Rainey, his dad is the all-time leading rusher, James Madison. His father, Warren, they wore the same number as well, 29. But now it's Carter Johnson who's in as the Dukes have 1st and goal. It's Johnson. And he's not going to get anything. How about this? 2nd down and goal, JMU. A chance to tie it up here as we are approaching midway through this 4th quarter.
And this is where, if Ben DiNucci was 100% healthy with that leg, boy, maybe roll him out and give him that run-pass option to try to get it in here. We'll see what they do. We'll see what Donnie Kirkpatrick calls up.
Stapleton's at the top of the screen. They're looking left, and an incomplete pass is into the turf as Sims was over there as well. Now he's tasseling with a defender.
Yeah, go easy, guys. No, you don't want any stupid penalties right now. And that time, DiNucci's got a tendency to throw off that back foot falling away. That time he short arms it in there to his receiver, Josh Sims, and they get into it a little bit. But, boy, you don't want to pick up any dumb penalties right here. That would be killer.
Here we go, 3rd and goal, JMU. Danucci steps up, trying to go forward, and he's going to be brought down at the 3-yard line. Couldn't quite get there.
And it's really dangerous. He was going to try to slide there, because I'm telling you, his leg is not 100%, and he got smashed by a couple defenders, unable to get it in. But, you know, I think a healthy Ben DiNucci would have went head first, tried to get this in. You're going to see, tries to slide a little bit, goes down weird and just gets hit. And they're going to settle for 3 here.
Yeah, there was a defender coming right at you there. Yeah. All right, so Ethan Ratke, just another 19-yarder here on the way, and it is good. So JMU inching their way closer, and it's only a 4-point game. NC State and James Madison.
ESPN College Football is presented by Edward Jones, because understanding what's important to you matters. And in part by the new DQ Reese's Outrageous Blizzard Tree at participating locations.
Victory Day here at NC State. 35 participants with Down syndrome, kids from 3 years old all the way up to young adults with 25 years old. And it's great that the players are involved in that. We'll tell you more about that here after the kick.
Yeah, great stuff for everyone involved.
17-13, 4-point ball game here in Raleigh.
And a good drive for JMU. 15 plays, 74 yards, took 7 minutes and 12 seconds off the clock. They settled for the 3, but within a touchdown.
Maurice Trell from inside the 5-yard line, and not much past the 15. So from the 16-yard line is where they're going to start. And, you know, with the players in this Victory Day to be able to hang out with all these kids, there was 35 players or participants with Down syndrome. They all got to hang out with the players, and they all got to score a touchdown.
Yeah, they went through drills with the players. They all got to score a touchdown. And as thrilling as it was for those 35, it was as thrilling for the coaching staff and the players of NC State. Just a great event and great stuff. Just the excitement and the joy on the faces, unbelievable. Good stuff, great stuff.
Under 7 minutes to play in this contest. Ryan Finley under center. Gillespie gets the call, and he moves forward to the 19. If that, depending on the spot. So I'm impressed with this JMU defense.
And it's interesting, though, talking about NC State. What did Dave Doran tell us, Mike? His team needs to play well under pressure and score late to win. He specifically said that to us, score late to win. Well, they got an opportunity here, 6:30, go down, score, and put this game away. But as you said, a very stingy JMU defense.
Finley gives to Gillespie, looking for a hole. Good effort there. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3. That was one of the big keys, as you said, Dave Doran. Boy, it was scoring and finishing games in pressure situations. This, i.e., game 1 of 2018, a pressure situation. Only a 4-point lead. Now with a 3rd and 3 deep in your own end.
I agree with you 100%. Although they're up in this game, it's still a pressure situation. FCS team at home, you're trying to fend them off. You have a chance to go down, put this game away with a touchdown. And we'll see what they can do.
NC State is 2 of their last 6 on 3rd down. They need this one, 3rd and 3. Finley guns it, sideline, it's caught. He's got Kelvin Harmon.
Ryan Finley pass is complete to number 3, Kelvin.
And that was the 100th career catch for Kelvin Harmon, 5th active in the ACC.
Yeah, it's Harmon just one-on-one with number 6, Jimmy Moreland. Out route, Moreland tries to close on it, but a good throw once again by Ryan Finley to his big receiver.
Elijah Drinkwitz, the offensive coordinator for NC State, says in man-to-man, he's unstoppable. Falling forward there for a few yards is Ricky Person.
And Jimmy Moreland's a very good defensive back, but the best defensive back on this team was Rashad Robinson. He's out for the season. Had surgery already, is rehabbing. He's at home in Richmond. He'll be back with the team next week, but the paperwork's going. He'll be granted another year next year, I'm sure. But that was a big loss, and Jimmy Moreland will now step up and take on those big-time receivers as this season progresses.
Second down and 9 carry for Person, and not much as the up front players for JMU able to stuff that up. And you talk about a couple guys being out too. Another one, a defensive lineman, Darius Carter, you know, a great player for them that's not playing. So everyone just stepping up even more on this JMU defense.
And Coach Houston told us those were his 2 best defensive players. Now they may get back Carter during the year here, but as we said, Rashad Robinson out for the season. But a huge play here, to say the least.
Another one.
3rd and long.
Under 4 minutes to go now. 3rd and 9. Finley airs it out. He's got a wide open Jacoby Myers. How does that happen? And Myers inside the 30 of JMU. And that is going to put the hurt on right there.
Well, and he had 2 players running wide open. He had tight end Damian Darden, 47 as well. So obviously a breakdown in his secondary of James Madison. The only person out there was a safety. He had to come over, D'Angelo Amos, to make that play. I mean, it's lucky for JMU that didn't go to the house for 6.
I mean, if you're Finley, you look over there and you feel like it's preseason practice where you're just tossing balls out there. Myers, 13th catch of the game today. 151 yards. And that has really helped NC State's cause here now as they go back to the ground.
Number 26, Trent Penix.
And Trent Penix
Timeout for a helmet off by the defense.
for his first carry today as the helmet comes off of Adib Atariwa for JMU, and he has to go out.
What a huge play, though, for North Carolina State. Looked like a breakdown of the secondary. Not only do you pick up the first down to keep the drive alive, big chunk on the play as well.
Well, now you're going to have to start thinking about timeouts if you're JMU.
If you're Mike Houston, absolutely. We're under 3 now.
And that's what that play does, too, is it starts to get you in position to potentially wind down the clock, force JMU to use timeouts. 2nd down and 10.
And you see the experience of Ryan Finley, Mike, letting the play clock run with the lead. I love it to see quarterbacks do this.
And it's Penix. And brought down for a short pickup.
And this is where you have to have an attitude as an offense and an offensive line to run the ball, grind the clock, pick up first downs, and seal this game. So far, JMU has done a nice job up front.
We'll step aside. It's 2:23 left in this 4th quarter. NC State hanging on to a 4-point lead. 4-point ball game with 2:21 to go. Mike, Corey, Rini, and Golia. If you're NC State, first off, you're very thankful of this. Andreas Bryant, their senior defensive tackle, you see right there, has come back out onto the sideline. It was injured earlier. They had to cart him off. That's a great sign.
Such great news. Walked out on his own power.
Correct.
Just in street clothes. Looks good.
Happy to hear that. But if you're NC State, you've got work to do here on the field. 3rd down now and 9. 2:23. Finley guns it. It is caught. It's Myers right at the first down marker, the 19-yard line. Looks like a good spot. He's got it.
This will be 11 for 14 for 3rd down conversions today for North Carolina State. And a lot of those were 3rd and long. Great route once again. I tell you what, Jacoby Myers has been a killer on 3rd down. But let me sink that in. 11 of 14 on 3rd down conversions. And a lot of those have been 3rd long. Again, right there, 3rd and 9, and they converted. Just a killer. Ryan Finley was great at it last year. Great at it again this year.
And Myers is banged up. I mean, he's been hit here today. And again, he was hobbling off earlier, and now he needs a little bit of help as well to come off the field. We'll be right back. Still 2:11 left and a tight one in Raleigh. Sports Center tonight on ESPN after BYU Arizona. We've got Stan Verrett and Michael Eaves, and there's going to be so much to talk about. They'll break down two of the night's biggest games, Louisville, Alabama, plus Michigan, Notre Dame, the top sights and sounds from week 1 in college football. How about Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers continuing their crucial series with the D-backs, college football and more. Sports Center at 1:45 a.m. Eastern. Stay up for it on ESPN.
So much stuff going on. You got to start Sports Center so late, and tons of highlights tonight.
Exactly. Here we go. First down now for NC State. Minute and 51. Clock is running. And the handoff goes to Gillespie. And he breaks free off the left side and gets down to the 5-yard line. It's going to set up a 1st and goal from the 5. What a huge run by him.
You know, before that run, North Carolina State had 27 carries for only 65 yards. That's less than 2.5 yards to carry. He blasts off for 12 there, does Gillespie, just what the doctor ordered.
Damian Darden is in as a fullback in front of Gillespie here as they're just outside the 5.
Yeah, and there's 12 on the play clock. Ryan Finley should not snap this ball till it's down to 2 or 3. Let this clock bleed.
It's Gillespie. There he goes. Into the end zone. Touchdown, NC State.
Again, Dave Doran told us he wants his teams to be able to score under pressure. Great drive by the Wolfpack. Take it down the field, and they started to establish somewhat of a running game there at the end with Gillespie, and that's the way to finish it off. Good hard run to get it in for 6.
That's certainly some video footage that they could use throughout the year, to your point, and to that point of emphasis that they want here in this 2018 season. This drive started at the 16-yard line.
Yeah.
5:50 off the clock as well. College football, what a weekend it is. How about tonight and this afternoon first? Washington and Auburn, number 6 and number 9. 3:30 Eastern at 8 Eastern. It's Louisville and Alabama. Both games also streaming live at the ESPN app. Watch them anywhere. We will. We're going to be on the road. Looking forward to this. It's college football on this Saturday on ESPN and ABC. Don't miss it. What a way to start here from Raleigh, North Carolina for us in this contest. You had upset alert here with James Madison. They had got it down to 4 points, but now it's an 11-point game with 105.
We knew it was going to be a tough game. This isn't your normal FCS program where, you know, they're coming for a paycheck and it's a 30, 40-point game and it's a moral. They want to win the game. I just think here at the end here, North Carolina State, we talked about you know, the depth disparity when the FBS team plays an FCS team, just more depth, and it wears you out.
Hamilton takes it to a knee. JMU is going to start at the 25, but there's only 1:05 left as we take a look at tonight's mayhem moment, brought to you by Allstate. All right, Reedy, what do we got?
Well, it was the big play. It looked like a broken play, but what happened was JMU, bottom of the screen, they're going to try to jump what they think is a bubble screen. They fake the wide receiver bubble. They go long, and no one's there. So it's like, fool me once, there you go. I'm going to jump. I'm going to cover the bubble, but guess what? They're not running bubble. They faked it. Ran seams down the field, and boy, Jacoby Myers was wide open. That was really play of the game for North Carolina State.
No doubt about it, and that seemed like a little bit too rogue there on trying to jump what you think it could be, because that play was like one of the plays of the game.
Apparently, they hadn't seen the fake bubble go long on tape because they weren't playing for it at all.
DiNucci's pass, oh, what a hit, and a catch by Kendall Dean, and then he just got crushed by Tanner Engel. And that fires up this NC State group in the crowd with under 50 seconds left.
Yeah, and Engel's that true freshman that the coaches really like. Let's take a look and listen at this.
DiNucci scrambling out now. And wisely to the sideline. The clock is going to stop. They're shy of the first down.
And the big thing for JMU now is obviously 30 seconds left. You're down by 11. you don't want to get anyone hurt, right? Neither team. You never want to get someone hurt at the end. They still have a huge season in front of them, CAA conference, and obviously they've been to the national championship game 2 years in a row. That's their goal, to get back there again.
DiNucci. Catch made by Marcus Marshall, and the first down across the 40-yard line. Just not going to be enough time here for the Dukes. And boy, JMU Nation too, which has just been outstanding for this, program and university, as they call a timeout. They travel well. They support this team. Packed crowds at home. They got a lot to be proud of here, and this is going to be another good season, I think, for JMU.
Yeah, 28-2 the last 2 years. They're not used to losing. Nothing to hang your hats at this game. They've played hard, and they were in this game really. The turnover by DiNucci flipped it around, and a couple plays here or there, but this was a well-played game.
And taking a look at where they head next after this. They're number 2 in FCS. They'll be at Norfolk State next Saturday at 6 o'clock. And then back home for a few games. It's a homecoming really for a lot of these players and coaches, being from this area, from North Carolina. Raleigh, 10, coaches have ties here. The entire staff that
16 players on the JMU roster from North Carolina. So, and guess what, folks? They'll still be ranked number 2 in the FCS after this week. This is not going to affect their ranking.
DiNucci, a shot down the sideline. Stapleton, what an amazing grab. He's got it. The 30-yard line. He has been one big bright spot in the wide receiver group. Just a junior, 26-yard reception.
Just no quit. I mean, that kid, Riley Stapleton, is phenomenal.
And I stop the clock. Stapleton was originally committed to Division II hoop. Play basketball at Indiana, University of Pennsylvania, but then decided I want to go play football, and his brother, Dylan Stapleton, is now on the team.
Yeah, transferred from Slippery Rock, and he's like Dylan. I mean, he's like Riley, just bigger and thicker, tight end. Goes about 30 pounds heavier than Riley, but the coaches are really big on him.
His mother, Claudia, and father, Jim, they've got to be very proud of their 2 sons there, Riley and Dylan, and they'll be playing together this year and next for JMU. 2nd down and 10 here, just under 15 seconds left. DiNucci facing trouble. Getting away. Finds Stapleton again. Another first down. Just outside the 15-yard line. Clock's going to stop with 2 seconds to go to move the chain. And JMU takes their final timeout.
Fight to the end, right?
Yep.
2 seconds left. Take a shot at the end zone.
Let's go to the other side now for a minute here for NC State, because, a valiant effort by JMU, but you got to give NC State credit doing what Coach Doran wanted to do, scoring there in the crucial situations. Where do they go from this point here as they continue to build this program under his leadership?
Yeah, again, this was not the FCS opponent you want to play. They're going to get through it with a win. You got Georgia State, and then, boy, West Virginia in a few weeks. That's a big one, and then, you get into the schedule. But the nice thing is they have, 5 games at home? Am I counting that right, out of 6? First 5 out of 6? So take advantage of those wins. But the big thing was to get out of the blocks, get that first W. Do not get upset here at home. And
NC State,
progress forward. I think they, the one thing, Mike, they need to do better is they need to get that running game established. Now, we saw a couple good runs there from Gillespie at the end to get that touchdown here to give you some distance, but just not enough during the game. Got to get that running game going better. I mean, Ryan Finley was phenomenal. He's everything you want with a quarterback. Just got to get in sync with that offensive line and get some more running yards up front.
Goal line is coming up next year. Going to be thankful of everything that we've had here this weekend as college football is underway. We're blessed to do what we do here in 2018 season. Like my brother Brian Corey, our spotter, statistician Mike Tuberosa, Tim McDermott with us up here in the booth, along with Melinda and Troy setting everything up here. Thank you, and our amazing ESPN group, Brett Walensky and Jeff Montoni, our producer and director respectively, and our great crew. Thanks, guys. As we have 2 seconds to go in this game with NC State and James Madison, as the Wolfpack is going to hold on to get the victory today. DiNucci's pass caught here, but out of bounds by David Eldridge, and that's how this game ends up.
That's the ball game.
And what we expected, we knew JMU would come in here and play hard. They were in the game. good, tough game. And for Dave Doeren and North Carolina State, it's just survive this game, get this win at home, and let's move on to the season again. JMU, not your normal FCS team.
And a great job by NC State and their culture. They're so proud of it, and they're continuing it under Dave Doeren's leadership as they win it in game number 1, 24-13. That's all for us, for Rainey and Golia. Mike Corey, thanks for watching the final from Raleigh. NC State 24, JMU 13. Now for ESPN Goal Line.